Hello, hello. Welcome to another episode of the Dirty Controller Boys podcast. Hello, Howler. How have you been?
Hi.
Hi.
I've been. How have you?
I have also been. And you?
I've been good.
That's good. That's good to
Yeah.
hear. So, what'd you do with your week?
I'm Orbed.
Oh,
Pretty
God.
great.
I didn't morb. You should have let me know to morb.
It was like
Did you morb 30
spur of the
seconds to
moment thing.
Mars?
Yeah. All right. So let me get into this shit, bro. Cause
Okay.
I know maybe not we, more so me. I think.
The collective we,
Um.
meaning you.
Well, cause I don't want to just group you in and say you shit on. Uh. Fuck. What is his name? Jared Leto.
Jared Leto, yeah.
Because I don't think I feel like it's me more because I'm just like, man, that guy's a piece of shit.
Yeah, with his weird sex cult. I
Wait,
get.
huh?
I don't know.
Okay. Uh,
uh
I thought you had information. I was like, all right, hold up, what's
No,
going
there
on?
was a whole thing that like I think I even talked about it where like Jared Leto has like this weird following where it's like almost cult like. It's very, very bizarre.
Oh yeah, okay,
Yeah.
yeah, I do remember you saying something about that.
Yeah.
What's it called? But so I was watching,
Morbius.
uh, huh?
Morbius.
Oh yeah, Morbius. I was morbing it out, and I think I finally figured completely, wholeheartedly, and now I understand that Jared Leto isn't a bad actor. Um, Tom Cruise is, but
Wow. Action
Jared
superstar.
Leto,
Mhm.
huh?
No, action superstar Tom
Uh,
Cruise.
action superstar Tom Cruise. No, Jared Leto is not a bad actor. Um, the writing that they're giving him in DC is fucking terrible.
You Marvel?
Yeah. Well, okay, yeah. So uh, for the Joker, it
Oh,
was
okay, yeah, I forgot he was a Joker.
yeah. Sorry for the. That's what I meant to say. Is because the Joker, like, one, the makeup. Come on, guys. Uh, I don't know. The like going for too cartoonish for that one and stuff. But then on top of that, what's it called? The writing just felt bad too, and
Yeah.
it's like so sad. And Morbius was Marvel.
Yes.
Okay. Man, that felt really DC.
So do you want to know the hilarious thing? So what I've heard about the reason why Suicide Squad, the first one, was like considered to be a train wreck was because it had problems during production. Like there was a whole ordeal that happened during shooting of that movie where I think I think the lead writer or like the lead director got replaced.
Okay.
Um so there, you know how like the whole joke about how not even a joke at this point. You know how like Zack Snyder got his cut of the Justice League to come out.
Uh.
There was a whole thing that talked about the guy who did who was the original director of Suicide Squad, that he came out on Twitter and was basically like, yeah, there's a whole thing like this movie that came out was not the movie that I envisioned. Like I had a completely different plan for this movie. But
Yeah.
the higher ups wouldn't let me do it. So it was a whole campaign of like weirdos being out and saying, release, I forget the director's name, but like release his cut,
Release John's cut.
release that cut.
Dat cut.
Yeah.
Release it on Dat Piff. I don't know if you know what that is,
I
but
feel like I've heard it, but
Dat Piff is what's it called? A music download site, but I think it's like based around free music, and usually what you get there is new artist music or um rappers that are like underground, basically, right?
oh, like
Uh,
SoundCloud for the
yeah, but
kids.
this is before SoundCloud was
Yeah,
SoundCloud,
yeah,
right?
yeah. I
And
get
this
you.
is again more geared toward downloading the music.
Hmm.
Um, like Lil Wayne will have, or almost every rapper that has come up will put what the fuck are they called, man? It's like an album, but they call it something else. But I don't know. I went there when I was younger and got
Oh, like
I don't know, something
like an
from Lil
EP,
Wayne.
like an EP.
No, it's not even sometimes these guys drop like 30 fucking songs,
Yeah.
and you're just like, what the fuck? Like,
Like
all
a
right,
mixtape.
there you go. That's the word, mixtape.
Okay.
Thanks, man.
Yep. You're welcome.
Look at you knowing words more than I do. God, I wish I knew
Mixtape.
words.
Same.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
man, Jared Leto though.
Speaking of songs and songwriters, Jared Leto.
Jared Leto, singer for 49 Minutes to Mars.
Yeah.
Um, so
69 minutes to come to Mars.
40 no nut Novembers later.
No.
Um,
Mhm.
so, so I'm watching Morbius, and I'm just like already in a hateful mood because I'm like, it's Jared Leto. I don't care. Everyone said this movie sucks. It's bad.
Yeah, you went
And
with really low expectations.
yeah, and I watched it, and it started out bad, and it moved into the section where like Jared Leto was playing Morbius or whatever the doctor's name is, which I think is Michael something. Um, I don't know the main character's name. Pretty sure something Michael.
Yes,
But
Michael Morbius.
okay.
Yeah.
Jesus fucking Christ. Thanks, Marvel.
Yeah.
So, um, so watching him like be a nice guy, because the Joker's an evil guy, so you never get that nice part.
Mhm.
What?
No, it's like from watching him being a nice guy.
Right. So I think Leto kind of, and maybe I'm wrong, but I think he wants to play bad guys. Um, but and I know like Morbius is like an anti-hero kind of.
Yeah, because
Um,
he's based off a Spider-Man character.
okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, I watched it and like I was watching him be like a good character basically, like he because in the beginning is good.
Mhm.
Um, and like it felt really good. It felt really good to have him as a good guy. Um, I think he played the character well actually overall. Um, but like that beginning part, like I said, like just felt really good. Um, and then later on, it got worse again, and then like it was like a mixture of like just bad and then good, and then bad and then good. Like the acting
Ooh.
itself, though, which is weird.
Hmm.
Um, and I don't know. I think like so based off of like that and like thinking about the Joker and how bad the Joker is, like I think really like to make this like I think like certain roles just aren't good for him. As is kind of like for everyone,
Mhm.
like
Yeah.
some people just are meant to be the person that they're playing, and some people aren't. Like you look at Robert Downey Jr., and that guy just feels like Iron Man. Like he just
He feels like Tony Stark.
right. He feels like Tony Stark. He feels like Iron Man. Like there, it doesn't feel wrong for him to be that character. But then you look at like Leto, and you look at Joker, and of course, there's difference of opinions. But you look at Joker for me, and you look at Morbius, and like I'm just like I don't see it. I don't. It doesn't feel. It doesn't feel like he's meant to be this character. So,
Mhm.
um,
So it's weird
but I
because
think like from seeing this, like I have more respect for him as an actor. Uh,
yeah.
and just he's in the wrong role basically, or somebody needs to write better because that movie is riddled with horrible writing. Go watch that shit, man. Like don't give it a chance, but like
Just
watch
watch
it
it.
so you can like see the writing and then get back to me because like
Yeah, I'll probably check it out because, like I've mentioned before, I'm very critical when it comes to like stories and stuff like that. Like that's where I can kind of be like, because I talked about the show The Watcher. Like that show has a very interesting
yeah,
concept, but the writing is just bizarre. And then when I saw who the writers were,
yeah.
it was the writers for American Horror Story and American Horror Story. I'm like, oh yeah, I've enjoyed American Horror Story because
Oh, you called it
it's
trashy.
it's
That's what you said.
trashy. That's what it
Yeah,
is. It's trashy.
yeah,
And that's what The Watcher felt like. It's like it's this really trashy show because there's a lot of things that just like get amped up that could be solved if people just have a calm and cool and collected conversation, but
yeah.
nobody does that in that show. So that's why it just feels really trashy because everybody's just coming out being like, "Fuck you. You don't know who I am," and then other weirdos are like, "Fuck you too," and it's just it just goes overboard with that fucking show. But
That's kind of
yeah,
how that's
uh,
kind of how that felt actually. It was kind of trashy, I guess.
yeah,
But it wasn't good trash. It was
yeah.
bad trash.
It wasn't peak cinema like Avengers Endgame.
bro. I'm gonna be real, man. Like Endgame was good.
That's the sad thing, is
Uh,
that like I feel like nothing can ever top Endgame
it
because of
will.
how, you think? I mean,
Maybe not for our generation, but like there'll be a
e-
point where something will peak it.
I think the problem is that Disney went full force with doing the next phase right after Endgame, and I think that was a really bad call.
Yeah, they should have given it some time.
Yeah, they really should have given it some time, because it's just
I
like,
I think they feel forced though too to do that because like
because you're
you
making so much
know
money off it, because it
not even just that, but like you just peaked. Now how do we hit the next peak? You know, and I think
yeah,
they think like maybe the formula could keep going. It could. I don't know. Who knows? Next Avengers might be really good.
it just depends, but
Especially if
like,
Wolverine's in the next Avengers, you're fucking wrong.
but but
Everything you say is wrong.
but that's also the other situation, is that like I don't think Disney is looking at it as a domestic market. They're looking at it globally, because those things sell like
Yeah,
gangbusters around the
yeah,
globe. That's why
yeah.
like
That's true.
that's why they really appeal to the Chinese market, because the Chinese market is really huge.
Wow, are you
So
saying you hate Jinping?
Xi Jinping, you mean?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm pretty sure his name's Jinping, but sure.
Bing Chilling.
Wow! Wow!
Sorry, I'm reminded of the.
Racism!
No, don't you remember the John Cena thing where he comes
No.
out and he's like, he's speaking in Chinese
Oh
or
my fucking
Mandarin,
god. Okay, yeah, yeah,
and he's like Bing Chilling, and then yeah,
yeah.
I think it's
All right.
Mandarin. I believe it's Mandarin.
I have no fucking idea.
Don't want to be racist on that.
Choja's like, racism, bust through a fucking door. I'm ready.
Racism. Call me the Kool-Aid Man, cause I'm gonna bust through that
Because
wall.
I'm busting.
I'm busting. Anyways, so what else did you do besides Morb?
Um, I played Destiny. Um,
How's that going?
it's good. I think I talked about it before, but like, I have like more respect again for Destiny. Um,
Wow.
yeah, it's more so just because like I was thinking about how I play the game, and then I hate on it, and then I play it, and then I hate on it, and I'm like, well, I'm playing it. Why the fuck am I hating on this shit? And really, I'm hating on it because like, one, I want more content, which like that's fair, like
Hmm.
you know,
Yeah.
but like it's not a reason to like, hate the game, I guess.
Yeah.
Um,
So you
and then I
just
like
want more from it, but you're not getting the more you want, so that's why you hate it? Is that what you're implying?
right, yeah. Well, it's not that I hate it. I'm just like being angry, basically. Like I'm like,
Yeah.
oh man, like you guys aren't making more content. Fuck
Mm.
y'all. Like most of the fucking internet is actually against them.
Mm-hmm.
And then like the other day, like I really like kind of sat there and reflected on it. Like, why do I hate this thing, or like why am I hating so much? Why?
Why hate
Uh,
Destiny?
well,
Why?
like why am I putting so much like care into this and shit? And and I thought about it, and like the um the people that are making this are told what to do. They're not,
Mm.
um, what's it called? They're not the ones that get to say like, okay, we're gonna make more content. That's like maybe five people that like get together and say we're gonna make more content or we're
Yeah.
not, you know.
Yeah.
And then everyone else is a lower end worker. So like, I don't know. I was just thinking about it like in that perspective, basically.
Mm.
Uh, being like, it's really not like anyone's decision except for five people or whatever amount of people, right? Could even be two people or whatever. Um, but the game itself, like, is good, and the people that worked on it do good jobs. Like, when there is content, it's a good game.
That's why
Um,
PlayStation put money into Bungie, because they saw they're doing good job.
yeah, but I don't think PlayStation's going to have them amp up their load, which I think they should. Their workload. If you want me to say that instead, I don't know. I don't know
They're
what that
gonna
face is for.
they're gonna put that load. I'm gonna give
They're
that
gonna put
Dwayne
somebody's
the
gonna put a load in
I'm trying to do the
side of
Dwayne the Rock
Bungie.
Johnson.
Oh, okay.
I'm trying to do the Rock, like,
You look worried. That's why. Oh boy. But
ah,
anyways, I've been having fun. I've been
cool.
doing like challenges I never did, basically, because like that's kind of only content to do now because I finished everything else.
Hmm.
Um, and that's pretty fun. And then like I've been doing something that I do like a lot of the time, like when I play Destiny back in the day, like I didn't know what to do, so I would like just help people do things. Like I would post up and be like, "Yeah, I'll teach you how to raid. I'll teach you how to do this. Teach you how to do that." And I'm doing that again, and like that feels good. because like
Yeah, you like being part of that community. Is that?
yeah, I like the community to like have more people that are willing to like do shit. Whereas a lot of the community kind of like wants you to already know everything, or else there's like a gate, right?
Yeah.
Or a wall, or whatever the fuck it's called. There's like a section between people in the communities where like if you don't know how to do it, nobody wants to help you. Um, Everyone like wants you to already know it day one,
Yeah.
and I don't really like that. So I like helping people learn how to do the raids and stuff again instead of just doing like old content that I don't need to do anyways.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's always a nice thing to do,
Um,
especially if you're helping somebody trying to get into the game and really appreciate it.
yeah, yeah, definitely.
Okay.
And that's how you also like
So,
make
uh,
uh friends on there and like other stuff too. So yeah,
so you were doing a bit of community service.
yeah.
Okay. I
What
mean
did
that.
you say last time? We had this conversation a long time ago, and you called it like something like not community service, but something destiny. You had like the word. It was I don't know. You've made a pun. It was good. Or whatever the fuck it is. Uh,
God, I don't know.
yeah, it's a long time ago.
Bing
This was
Chiling.
like it might have been Bing Sling, possibly.
Okay. All right.
And then off camera, I told you I was learning how to fix electronics.
Yes, we had
Um,
a very interesting conversation that we probably should have left for this podcast, but I guess to sum it down, you found the secret sauce of fixing
yeah.
things.
I mean, I'll say I don't care. It's BW100. Literally, what's his name? I think it's Tronics Fix, or Tronics Fixes. The guy on YouTube, he literally like every time something comes out, like console
Is,
wise, he
is it
tears it down and shows you like how it works.
is it the guy that like buys like broken stuff and
Yep.
like fix? Okay, okay,
Yeah.
yeah. He's really interesting to watch.
He's
I
also
like it.
really good at what he does.
Yeah, I mean, obviously.
Like I've watched that guy like solder traces back onto a board because they're gone,
Hmm.
and I'm just like, I didn't even know you could do this.
No, like
And
some of
he's
this, like yeah, like you said, some of the stuff that he just does is just like fucking amazing. It's just like,
yeah.
oh, you fixed it completely.
Well, I think my favorite videos he does is the ones where he's like GameStop couldn't fix this or Sony couldn't fix this, and I'm like, Sony couldn't refurbish their shit.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think one that I saw recently was he had like a Steam Deck and like the bumpers were like all fucked up. So he
Oh
opens
yeah,
it.
yeah.
Yeah, he opens it up and he sees that like yeah, they got like really fucked up. So he looks for like he just takes I think he just took out like an old Xbox One controller and took the bumpers from that and just placed it back in and kind of like
Okay.
rigged it to work and it worked.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, a lot of his stuff is like really interesting. But yeah, secret sauce.
One of the ones I watched from him, he couldn't get a chip to work, and or maybe it wasn't a chip, but something on a motherboard wouldn't work. And he's like, I can just go borrow one from another board because they work all the same, all of
Yeah.
them. And I was like, oh my god, he's so smart. I was like, I would have like thrown that board away. And then like now I'm like, maybe I don't need to throw my laptop away.
Yeah,
Like
I
maybe I could use
mean,
this shit next time.
that's the thing is that like, oh, this other thing works for this thing.
Yeah,
Guess I'm keeping it.
it's
Yeah,
insane because like
you don't really think about it. That's the thing. That's how the
well,
consumer market works. Is that like, oh, my thing broke, so time to go buy new thing.
yeah, but like if your HDMI broke on your PS5, you quite possibly, and I'm not sure if it works this way because I don't know everything, but
So,
I think you could pull it off of your fucking motherboard and put
uh,
it into your thing.
so this is a hilarious thing. So my old PS4, which was the Darth Vader special edition that I had,
Oh yeah, yeah,
the HDMI output was all funky. So I looked up videos. I'm like, all right, is there a cheap way of getting this thing out? And there technically was, but you needed a soldering iron, you needed a heat gun as well because
yeah,
the HDMI the female port is soldered onto the motherboard of the PS4, so you need to like take off the solder, replace that, and get the HDMI a new one, and then put it onto the motherboard and solder it on. Which I'm
yeah,
like, I don't have that equipment, so it's
yeah,
just
yeah.
like But then I think at the time it was just like, oh, the PS4 Pro was coming out, so that's when I got the PS4 Pro.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. But
um,
yeah, so many easy fixes you can have.
but that same thing you just said is like again, like we were talking earlier, but like I'm definitely gonna buy soldering equipment because like that reason right there.
It's good to
If
have.
I ever like just need like something simple like a HDMI, like
Mm,
I fucked it up, I'd be like, oh, or it's like what happened to yours basically like time just like makes things bend, right?
yeah.
So like I'll never feel worried because I can just open it up and like fix it.
Yeah. Yeah,
Man, I
because
wish I was like good
be-
like this with cars, bro.
yeah, because like pieces are so inexpensive for electronics. Like you don't really think about it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's literally so wild because I again like talking to you earlier, like you can buy thumbsticks for a fucking controller for like $5
Yeah, like
or $2 I think.
dirt cheap. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, it's so cheap.
Yeah. 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 No, it's soldering kit is good to have, and so is like a toolbox
Dude.
also.
Oh yeah. Yeah, 1,000%. Like, I think everyone, like, after like thinking about this, like, everyone should have soldering equipment and the mini tools, like, for fixing all that shit, or
Yeah.
like even like your bigger things, like you said, like a toolbox for like any
Yeah.
tightening or whatever the fuck.
Yeah. No,
Gotta
because
tighten
like
some leaky pipes.
the biggest thing that I got that was a huge game changer in my perspective was a fucking little like screwdriver set for electronics. And
Yep.
like that's what I use. Like I guess that was also part of my week, but when we get to that, it's just like, yeah, that helped a lot, especially for computer shit.
Oh,
Uh
okay. Yeah, yeah.
yeah. So yeah, you had fun with your secret sauce.
Yeah. Did I say it was BW100? I don't know if I said that yet, but
B BW100?
yeah, B then a W, like WD-40,
Mm-hmm.
but BW.
But BW100. Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
I gotta keep that in mind.
Dude, pick it up. I think it's I don't know if you would call it a little expensive, but like $8 a bottle. But the bottle's pretty big.
Okay.
I still have a ton of liquid and like I've fixed two controllers.
I was just thinking like you have a ton of liquid and you're looking around like your house to find things that might or might not have like some weird drifting issue. Like you're searching desperately.
Dude, oh man. So that's the next thing I'm gonna fix is I fixed the two controllers and then I was like kind of like what you were saying, like I was sitting there and I'm like, what else could I clean? And I'm like, oh my god! I was like fucking hit my brain, and I'm like, my Guitar Hero controller's been like fucked up for so long, and I know it's one of the buttons. So I'm like, oh dude, I bet I could clean it fixed, dude. I'm like, oh, I'm so excited now. Yeah, I don't think you understand how excited I am. Oh, I also, by the way, tested that shit because he said like it's insta dry, like fucking like 0 to whatever the fuck it is, 0 to dry.
Mhm.
So I sprayed some on my skin when I got it, and instantly just dried, gone immediately. The only time I noticed it pulled up is like when I was fixing my stick. I like sprayed it and like probably like a lot. I would say I sprayed in.
Mhm.
Again, like didn't hurt my controller at all. Didn't fuck the whatever motherboard or logic board inside there up or anything because
Mhm.
like it dripped onto it. I noticed when I did that and it hit like I had like a laminate table for my desk, or at least the top is laminate, and the stuff pooled. It didn't dry. It
Mm.
just like pulled on the laminate. So the stuff actually on the front of it says electrical cleaner. So I don't know like if it knows to like evaporate on things that aren't laminate. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe this is like the one thing it won't dry on.
Okay. Yeah. Specific surfaces, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
if you took this liquid and like sprayed it into like what is this thing? Mesh or like a mat or something. I have like a card mat in front of me for like Magic the Gathering.
Mhm.
And some of it spilled on there and you could see like it absorbed. So like it
Mm.
still would absorb. It just you know what I'm saying? Like again, like electronics, it doesn't like fuck up. It seems like things that can get absorbed too though. I don't
Yeah.
know. Okay. It doesn't matter. I'm just like it still cleans. Just don't pour it on like clothing, I guess. I don't know why you would.
Yeah. I guess. I mean, use it for its intended purposes. Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
yeah.
I get it. I get it. All right.
Yeah.
Cool. 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 Cool.
Uh, and I think I watched Catch Me If You Can again. I love that movie.
That's a good movie.
It's so good, dude.
That's a good movie.
It-
That's a really good
you're
movie.
good.
It's a good
um,
movie. Especially when Tom Hanks comes in with his Boston accent. He's like,
oh yeah, it's good. I like it, man.
it is a good movie. And it's
No,
a
no, no,
true.
his accent. I like
Oh,
the
his accent.
accent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
It is
I
funny. It is a little funny to see from Tom Hanks because, like, you're like, oh, Woody has a Boston accent.
yeah. Yeah. Uh, yeah. It's funny because it's like no, because I find it funny in the perspective that it's based on a true story, which is like
Yeah,
that's nuts. That a dude was just like he was just going off to having different identities.
dude. So, like, do you know about um the Mormon that used to like forge documents, like
Mm,
religious documents?
no.
So there's this Mormon guy that lived in, I think it's Salt Lake City, right? Is where like Mormons used to be, or was like founded or something.
Asking the wrong person.
Something like Utah, Salt Lake City, Utah, I believe it is.
Mm.
Um, is like Mormons born and raised basically area. And anyways, so this is the guy. Um, I don't really know like how he got into it, if he's Mormon actually or not. But sorry, that was really funny to watch because there was no
Sorry.
sound
Yeah.
to it.
Yeah. I muted myself because I didn't want the sneeze to
It was
come
just
through.
funny to watch. But so this is Mormon guy, and he I think he's Mormon again. Fuck. But he forged Mormon documents. I think he forged other things, but like he was forging like these something to do with whatever. The Mormon religion's like based off of like a guy like talking to God, and he got like the third plate of commandments, I think, or the new set of commandments or something.
Oh yeah,
Um,
like they have like a weird amount of commandments. Yeah, yeah,
yeah, because like God talked to some guy
yeah.
that
Yeah. In Utah.
I don't know if it was Utah, but again, like so, like there's this missing things, kind of like I think it's the Ark of the Covenant has the original two commandments. So like some guy uh forged um these pages that were like I think like supposed to be the founder of the religion um his like writing where he like copied the commandments that he had gotten. So um these people were like, "Oh my god, where did you get this? How did you get this? It's worth like, like so much money." And he's like, "I'm going to sell it to you guys." And they're like, "Really?"
Hmm.
Whoa. And he ended up getting caught because like of course somebody was like, "This wasn't written in, you know." But he was
I
really
know.
good. He was really good at aging paper. It was really cool. It's a really cool document. There's a documentary on it.
Okay.
The guy was just like really fucking smart. And it's like the same thing about this other guy though, like from Catch Me If You Can. Like
Yeah.
how smart you have to
The
be able
whole
to do these things.
the whole check thing was like just surprising. It was just like, wow, it really was that simple.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
especially when he had like the one scene I like so much is when he's forging the checks and he's actually putting um the official logo on
The
by
planes. Yeah.
taking it off the planes and then putting it on.
Yeah.
And it's like, man, one, I wonder how much those planes are each to make a check because
Yeah.
like it's probably only like $3, but like
Especially back then. Yeah.
how
These little
smart
toy
is it to
planes.
like fucking spend $3 to like make yourself rich basically?
Yeah.
It's just wild.
Really,
Good ass
really,
movie.
it is a very good movie. Both good actors in that. You know,
Yeah, it's.
Leo and Tom Hanks.
Did you ever think Leonardo DiCaprio? I want to say Da Vinci every time. Did you ever think Leonardo DiCaprio?
Da,
I
Da
hope I wanted to
Vinci.
say it
Da
again.
Vinci again. Yeah.
Yeah.
Da Vinci? Uh-huh. Continue.
Fuck you. Oh God, please help.
Go ahead.
Did you ever think Leonardo DiCaprio was gonna be like so big? Like,
I mean, you're asking somebody that like was a little too young when Leo broke out, kind
how old
of.
are you?
I'm 25.
Oh, yeah. Never mind. All
Yeah,
right,
that's
we
it's
are a
a
little different here.
yeah.
We're 7 years apart, I
We
think.
truly we truly aren't built the same.
Oh my god, you're built way stronger.
Way different. Because I'm trying to think of like the first movie I saw Leonardo DiCaprio in, and it's like I
I
think I
was
want to
actually
say
gonna ask you that.
I think it was Titanic.
Okay, so yeah, that's the same.
Yeah,
But even
yeah,
seeing him from Titanic, I didn't think he was gonna be huge. Like I remember it, and I was like, "Oh, women are gonna love this guy
yeah.
forever."
Because I think that was the thing is that like even back then he was known to be like the next kind of big hit. It's weird because it's like I think mostly he was viewed as like the next heartthrob,
He was
basically.
gonna be the next Die Hard man.
Die Hardman. No, because like he was viewed as like a heartthrob, almost like Johnny Depp or like
Yes, you're right.
yes, because like I think around that time it was like I think Johnny Depp is no, they're right around the same age, right? Johnny Depp and Leonardo DiCaprio.
Uh,
No, that's wrong.
no, no,
No,
no.
he's a little bit older, Johnny Depp. Do you want to know why I remember that?
Oh right, Leonardo DiCaprio is old. You're never mind. You're right.
He's old, but I don't think he's as old as Johnny Depp, unless you're looking it up right now.
I'm looking it up right now. Go ahead.
Okay. No, because I remember they started in a movie together. What's Eating Gilbert Grape?
Oh shit! That is them. I forgot they were both in the same movie. Leonardo
Yes.
DiCaprio's 6 foot.
I can kind of believe that. I can believe that.
I didn't think he was that tall. I'm still taller than him, so he
But
can go fuck himself.
so
Johnny Depp is 59 and Leonardo DiCaprio is 47.
okay. Yeah, there's a big
He's 59. He's almost 60. He's almost 60?
yeah, Johnny Depp.
Yo, if
Yeah.
I look that good when I'm old, bro. I won't, but if I
Yeah.
did.
Yeah. I mean, probably all that stress from Amber Heard shitting on his bed, but you know. Uh
Just really keeping that leather together.
yep. No, because like I'm trying to think of like the one Leonardo DiCaprio movie that I'm like, man, this is an actor's actor of actor men of acting. Because I can't really think of one. Because so far it's been like some of his recent stuff where it's like, man, he's such a fucking fantastic actor.
Probably my favorite movie that he's done is The Departed.
Yeah, he was good in that.
I think that's like the movie I think about when I think about Leonardo DiCaprio. I'm gonna say Da Vinci at some point, bro.
It's
Uh,
okay. It's all right.
wait, you remember was it last week when I was when I said step husband?
Oh, yeah, step husband.
Yeah.
I'm like, wait, how does
when
that
you
work?
when you posted the video after you had recorded it, I uh I immediately was like, I fucking hate that I said that. I was like, I'm such a fucking moron, yo.
How do you think I feel about Wolverine? Think about that, bro.
Dude, yeah, but like
I've been
have you
s- I've
always
been s-
thought
uh
that Wolverine is how you say it?
I don't know why I thought it was like pronounced that way.
No, but it's like a lifetime thing.
I believe it was, yeah. But
So
that's what's the other thing is that like I've never said like I never and I'm not really like a huge Wolverine fan. Now see, I had to say the wool. Uh because like I don't really use that word that often, even referring to the
yeah,
animal.
yeah, which is I don't think you would ever refer to the animal. To be fair, like there's never. I don't know a conversation you would ever have where you
Yeah.
feel like you need to be like Wolverine or Wolverine, whatever, right?
Wolverine.
Um, so like that's fair, and like I think that's more justified for you saying that or talking about it on the podcast without like having knowledge of it. But I literally was just being fucking like stupid, sitting here saying step
S-
husband. How many times did I say it before you
You said
had
what
to
were we
say so?
talking?
I said it like 8 times.
But what were we talking about? I don't remember. What was the
I have no
conversation?
fucking idea,
I think it
bro.
might have been like a show or something.
Oh my god.
Step husband.
Fuck! What the fuck? That's
Fuck, losing it.
Step husband. What are you doing?
Oh, that's right. That's right. That's right. What? Yeah. What's that? What were we talking about at that
I don't
time?
know.
Yeah.
I
It's
think we were
okay.
talking about your show that what's it called? The thing you were literally just saw, trash TV thing.
Oh, The
And
Watcher.
for some reason, like,
You just thought step husband?
no, we had a conversation about something, and I was
Oh
trying
yeah.
to say that it would be someone's stepfather or something, but I
Oh,
like it kept being like her step husband, and you're like, it would just be her
your husband.
husband. Oh man, I'll have to go back and watch it. I'll figure it out for next time, and
Yeah,
then we can talk about it
I
again.
have to watch that. I have to watch that. But what the fuck were we talking about? Oh yeah, Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
was about. I was literally gonna say Da Vinci as well. We're talking about the Renaissance.
Man,
Uh,
I really love that actor Leonardo
uh
da Vinci.
Da, Da Vinci. Yeah, I'm trying to think. Like, what was the movie that I was like, I really like Leonardo DiCaprio in this
Leaner.
Lear. Uh, I want to say it was Catch Me If You Can for me. I think it was Catch Me If You Can. Like even before Django. Like Catch Me If You Can is that like it's one of those movies where it's just like, yeah, he's
Wolf on
doing
Wall Street was good.
well. That too, yeah,
Yeah.
that too.
The
He was
Departed.
the Departed, yeah,
Departed. There you go. Sorry, I thought
Departed,
Departed.
yeah. Boston, but Bostonians have a different way of talking. Uh, but yeah, I think it was Catch Me If You Can because I think I saw that movie like maybe a couple months back. Um, and I just remember just watching it and I'm just like, oh, this character that he's playing is very complex because of the whole thing of like the situation with his dad and his mom and like the divorce, like shit that was happening on off the side while also trying to have that like fake persona, of
I didn't even
being
know that was part of him. Yeah, it's
yeah,
crazy.
his dad was Christopher Walken, as you remember.
No, wait. Oh shit!
Christopher Walken.
I thought you were talking about his fucking real life,
Oh
bro.
no, I'm
I
talking about
was
the
like,
movie.
wow, I didn't know you had all that going on.
No, I'm talking about the movie. I'm talking about Leonardo's performance in that movie.
Yeah, the movie's so fucking good. Yeah,
It's a
yeah.
good movie. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. But yeah, but I mean,
Oh, Shutter Island.
Django. Oh yeah, Shutter Island's really good too. Yeah, mostly Martin Scorsese shit that Leo's been in is pretty good.
Yeah, but don't watch it on your phone.
Yeah, don't watch it. Don't watch The Irishman on your phone.
Oh,
Watch it.
Romeo plus Juliet.
Oh my fucking god.
It's a good movie.
I don't know. I don't know if I could do
He was on
Laz
Roseanne.
Laz Berman. He was?
Yeah, he was in The Outsiders.
Hmm.
He was on Romper Room.
Are you just looking at his filmography at this point?
Yeah, but like The Outsiders is known. That's why I'm saying like that was known.
Stay Golden, Pony Boy.
Yeah,
That
he
that
just played
outsiders.
Child.
Okay. All right. That's fair. Any other movies?
I think I said all the important ones.
Okay.
Oh, The Man
More.
in the Iron Mask. Morbius.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. Yeah, you talked about Morbius and Catch Me If You Can.
Oh no. You said more or something. That's why I was like, I thought you were starting to say Morbius.
Oh, okay. You watch anything Morbius?
Uh, yeah. Uh, did I watch anything else? Uh, trying to think. No. That's like pretty much it.
Damn, son. Damn. That sounds pretty good. I kind of want to rewatch Catch Me If You Can.
Yeah, dude, it's on Paramount
Oh, okay. Hmm.
or other ways.
Trying to do the Rock. I guess it's time for me to talk about my week. I watched a good ton of movies.
Oh,
Uh,
nice.
yeah, but before I get into that, since we had our little electronics talk, I got a new PC case, and it also made me appreciate the fact of building a PC a little bit because I had to do the whole rewiring shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's always fun. But now it looks nice. Now it looks nice, organized. I love this case, but I'm probably gonna have to buy some new shit for it.
Yeah. The case looks nice.
I
It's
really,
way bigger. You can definitely put like larger things in there if you want.
yeah,
You could even like RGB that bitch up too. It's
yeah,
got some of the red, but you could get different colors if you wanted.
yeah. I mean, I don't know. I'm not a really huge fan of RGB stuff, but
Oh, okay.
yeah, that's
This
just
guy
me.
hates fun.
Yeah, I do. But speaking of my own fun, yeah, just getting into the movie shit. I watched Guillermo del Toro's Cabinet of Curiosities on Netflix. Have you
Oh
seen that yet or not yet?
no, I saw a bunch of people say to watch it.
It's basically an anthology series. So like each episode is like a different director's like little horror movie. They're like
Okay.
all like I want to say like 50 minutes. Um
Okay.
some of them are good. Some of them are not my favorite. But if you watch it, we should probably have a talk about like the ones that we enjoyed and the ones that we didn't.
Yeah.
I think there should be just a podcast episode where we talk about that.
Okay.
Because it's a very fun watch. Like I said, there are some for me, there were some hits and there were some misses.
Yeah. I'll
Um
check it out and we can talk about it.
yeah, Cabinet of Curiosities. I also watched Sonic 2.
Yeah, I missed out, man.
Yeah,
Was it
you
good?
missed out. I enjoyed it. It was nice. It was
Was
very nice.
it? Did you feel like it was better than the first one? Worse than the first one, or the same?
It was a little bit better. I would have to
Okay.
say it was a little bit. I think because of the inclusion of Tails and Knuckles.
Didn't even know they were there. Got spoiled. Thanks.
Wow,
Didn't even. Never
wow.
saw a poster. Never saw a trailer. I was holding.
I was
I was
about to.
keeping myself.
I was
I was
about to
keeping
say
myself. You know.
all the promotional materials is just Sonic and Knuckles on it.
Yeah. Yeah.
uh, yeah, but either way, it's a very fun movie. They're gonna make a fucking third one because that
Mhm.
fucking shit has been selling like gangbusters. But yeah, really enjoyable. I liked it. Um, and what else did I watch? Oh yeah, I watched two Korean movies.
Oh yeah, I think you did say something about one of them.
Uh, so I I don't think you know this, but I don't think I've ever said what is my favorite movie of all time is.
Lost
Um,
Boys.
it's not The Lost Boys. Um, it's Old Boy, specifically the Korean
Oh.
version of Old Boy.
Oh shit. Okay.
Old Boy is I consider it to be one of my favorite movies of all time
Okay.
because of how crazy it goes. Um, I didn't know it was a manga before, and when I eventually watched that movie and was like, "Fucking everything's going nuts," I fucking loved it because it was such a roller coaster ride. Because I think overall, I'm a huge fan of mysteries, and that movie does a really well, like a really good job of like keeping you in the movie, keeping your focus in it to figure out what the mystery, um. like where the mystery goes and like why this whole situation is happening basically. So after I watched Old Boy, I didn't know that Old Boy was actually part of a trilogy called the Vengeance trilogy. So the same director, Chen Wook Park, I saw another movie of his which was not part of the Vengeance trilogy. I watched another movie called The Handmaiden, which is another movie that goes fucking bonkers in its story because it's one of those movies where you just don't know where it's gonna go. Um, and I think I really like this director. I really think I like Chen Wook Park's works because the two movies that I watched were the two movies that were part of the Vengeance trilogy. I watched Sympathy for Mr. Vengeance and Sympathy for Lady Vengeance. So this is the thing. All three movies, Old Boy, Mr. Vengeance and Lady Vengeance, you can watch it on its own. You don't even have to worry about anything kind of like coming together because they're
Mr. and
all
Lady?
yeah,
They don't link?
no,
Okay.
not at all. Which is the nice thing because it's like, oh, they're their own specific stories. That's why Old Boy felt like very in its world, and same thing with Mr. Vengeance and Lady Vengeance. They felt like their own specific thing. But let me give you the premise of Mr. Vengeance because I think it is really up there with Old Boy for me. Because I feel like at this point this director knows how to make movies to make you feel awful about life. Uh it's not a feel good movie like at all. Especially the
Okay.
title because of the fact that it's like Mr. Vengeance. It's like what the fuck does that mean? And then you watch the progression of the movie, you're like, "Oh." Oh. Cuz like the okay. So the premise is for Sympathy for Mr. Vengeance is um this blind guy, no, sorry, not blind, excuse me. This deaf and mute guy uh has an older sister that he takes care of. Essentially her kidney is failing. So he's trying his best to get a job and trying to give or get like finances in order to get a kidney transplant for his sister. So, um, he eventually finds a way in order to get a kidney transplant by calling these shady people, being like, "Yo, I will donate one of my kidneys in order for me to get a kidney back and some money, uh, so my sister can get her new organ." So the shady people are like, "All right, we'll do that." Uh, and basically they take his kidney out and just kind of leave him for dead. And then the hospital calls him and it's like, "Oh yeah, your sister's on the top of our list right now. You got to have the funds ready for us." So he's like, "Fuck, I don't have the funds." Uh so he has to basically confide in his girlfriend that he has, who his girlfriend is like this anarchist. She's very weird, but like I said, I really like watching these two because the guy is both deaf and mute. So uh basically him and his girlfriend communicate through sign language, and it's really hard for that guy to communicate with other people because he can't speak, and on top of that, not that many people know sign language. So he's just kind of like stuck in his own little bubble. So how the movie kind of goes in a really crazy direction is when the guy was working at this like this steel like the metal, like the steel mill, he got fired. So him and his girlfriend come up with a plan in order for them to get the money for his sister's transplant, is to kidnap the CEO's daughter and basically hold her for ransom and in order for them to get the money.
Jesus
So
Christ.
so that is the premise. Like I said, things go fucking bonkers. Like I want to say like fuck, it's like maybe like 25 minutes in and it's like almost a 2-hour movie. And I'm watching this movie, I'm like, where does it go? Cuz like so many crazy things were happening in it and I'm just like, how is this all going to end? And I think I like the ending, but I think a lot of people would not like the ending. Uh because it's such, I would say some people would call it like a deus machina kind of situation that happens. But overall, I think at the end of the movie, you feel that sense of just like misery and you just feel dirty. Like that's how I felt when I saw the ending, was just like, God damn, this situation just sucks. Yeah, Sympathy for Mr. Vengeance, fucking great, fucking great movie that I've seen. I think, yeah, like I said, it's like right up there with Old Boy for me. And then I watched after that, I was like, all right, time to make myself feel even worse. Let's watch Sympathy for Lady Vengeance. So the premise of that is even more interesting. Uh, it's essentially this lady has been in prison for 13 years for a crime that she didn't commit, and it was the murder of a 6-year-old child. And the movie starts off with her being released and basically coming out and meeting up with people that she was in prison with, and basically telling them that, yeah, like, our plan is starting now. And you basically, the movie tries to do like a whole back and forth thing of like, this was her time in prison and this is her now, basically shifting to the prison time stuff of her making relationships with these inmates in order for them to be her allies once she gets out, because they had shorter sentences. So her plan is to basically go after the person that committed the murder of the child. Um and it's basically her ex-lover. That's the person that committed the murder. The reason why the events happened is because uh she well, she got pregnant at a young age, and she basically went in and lived with her lover at the time, and they needed money. So what his idea was basically to kidnap a kid and hold a kid for ransom, and then, get the money for the kid, and that's it. But the kid ended up getting murdered by the guy. So the lady ended up taking the blame because the lover was holding her baby ransom. So she was basically the fall person. And the reason why she did it was obviously to save her child. So like I said, it's a very straight to the point revenge movie. Um but the ending does feel very satisfying, in a sense, because I was not expecting it. I want to say it subverted my expectations, but like, it also was like something just like out of left field, where it's just like, oh, we're doing this. I don't know if you're ever gonna see these movies, but like, I highly
I mean,
recommend them.
I was gonna say from your description of Old Boy, like I'd like to watch that.
Old Boy is fantastic. I'll send you a way to watch it. Because
It's
like I said,
Korean, right?
yeah, it's Korean.
Is
Don't
it on
watch.
Netflix?
Unfortunately, no. I think
Oh, don't
the
tell me not to watch. I'm gonna watch the one where it
Josh Brolin's in
speaks
it.
English.
Don't watch Josh Brolin one.
I'm
It's
sorry. What?
yes, there's the
Oh! You mean the American version? Gotcha.
yes. Don't watch
See,
that
what
one.
I thought you were gonna say was you gotta watch it in no subtitles, and I was like, don't do that to me.
No, watch it.
Or not no, you know what I mean? Whatever. Yeah,
No, watch it with the subtitles.
yeah.
What am I, fucking masochist? I'm not gonna go and
No,
be like,
whatever. You know what I mean?
I don't
Fucking
understand this
step
language.
husband. Okay.
Yeah. So Old Boy, I highly recommend. After you watch Old Boy, if you're still interested in like something by that same director, I would recommend watching Sympathy for Mr. Vengeance and watching Sympathy for Lady Vengeance, because it also does a really interesting thing that I really like, when it comes to like actors coming back for a similar director but in a different movie. Like,
Uh,
there's something about that I really enjoy. But yeah, like I said, if you watch the movies, you'll see. But I know we were talking about like Leonardo DiCaprio as a fucking fantastic actor. The two actors, the two main actors, and also the girlfriend, in Sympathy for Mr. Vengeance, um, are really really fucking good in that movie. Let me hold on, because I'm trying to remember their names because I do not want to fuck it up. Uh, so um, the actors, Song Kang Ho, he's a very very renowned actor in Korea. I can't really think of the American equivalents to Song Kang Ho. But like, he's in a lot of Korean movies and he's a very very good actor. He's fucking great in that movie. Uh Bae Doona is the girlfriend character, and I really like her in this movie because everything I've seen her else in, she's very straight faced and like very like emotionless. But in this movie, like she's like emotion full. Uh, she has like she has so many moments where like she's like angry, sad, surprised, and it's just like, oh, it's interesting to see her in this movie compared to the stuff that I've seen her whatever else she's in because she's always very straight faced, and I'm just like, huh, she has range, which what I'm trying to say, but the highlight is the deaf character, uh, Shin Ha Kyun. I'm probably mispronouncing that. He's fucking great because of the fact that he doesn't speak. He only like emotes or like speaks in sign. And
Right.
there's a very very hard scene where it's just like he conveyed so many emotions uh without saying a single thing. Only making a sound is what I can say. And he fucking he steals the whole movie, but to Lady Vengeance, the main actress that plays the main character, what is her name? Lee Young Ye. She's also very good because she does the vengeancing. But I have to say this guy has become one of my favorite actors, and when it comes to Korean stuff, almost as close to Song Kang Ho is Choi Min Sik. He is basically the murderer of Sympathy for Lady Vengeance. He's the guy that killed the kid. And whenever I see this guy in a Chan Wook Park movie, I'm like, this motherfucker's gonna play an evil motherfucker. I know it for a fact. And lo and behold, yeah, he plays an evil motherfucker. But this guy knows how to do like he always plays bad guys, but he knows how to play a bad guy so well.
Yep. There's so many people like that. Like, there's so many good guys and bad
Hey
guys that are
guys,
like just well known for being that person because they're so fucking good at it.
so that's the thing is that like whenever I see Choi Min Sik in a bad guy role, I'm like, he's gonna give it his all. Like I know this motherfucker's gonna be
This
evil.
motherfucker.
He's gonna be evil because he was in another movie that I saw called I Saw the Devil,
Oh,
which is also another revenge movie, and it's a very good revenge movie as well. Um, and he plays an evil motherfucker as well. But there's a turn where that movie takes, I think I want to say maybe in like the 15 or 20-minute mark, where it becomes a revenge movie rather than a murder mystery. And it's a very interesting revenge movie. If I can find it, I think it might still be on Amazon Prime. We should definitely do a fucking watch party because it is a fucking fantastic revenge movie.
which one?
Uh I Saw the Devil. That's where I saw it on Amazon Prime.
Gotcha, gotcha.
Uh but then like I said, you have Song Kang Ho, who always plays like a sympathetic character. I've only seen him play a piece of shit like maybe in like two movies. Um but he feels like a very simple his face, I think I can say, is like you just every time you see him sad, you just want to give him a hug because it's just like don't be sad. Like you're making me sad. But that's Song Kang Ho. Like that's his whole spiel. If you watch the movie Parasite, he plays the father in that movie. And you just feel so much sympathy for him because he's very cheery and very like high spirited, even though the thing that he's doing in that particular movie is like kind of shitty, but at the same time not really. Uh but then you see him change completely once like this, I want to say like near the end of the movie where like things start to like really like turn on its head. Uh but yeah. Oh yeah, and Choi Min Sik is the main character of Old Boy. So he is the main guy and he is fucking, like I said, he is fantastic in that movie. He is great.
Mm.
But yeah, the Vengeance trilogy. I actually plan on maybe rewatching Old Boy just to oh my god. It's so
Revengeance.
Revengeance, the Revengeance trilogy.
The
And
Revengeing.
I also found out that Chan Wook Park just came out with another movie. Uh hold on. He just came out with another movie this year called Decision to Leave, which I think I might have seen the premise. Okay, hold on.
Maybe that's a vengeance movie with Godzilla in it.
Who knows? Maybe there might be some vengeancing. Let me see the premise. A detective investigating a man's death in the mountains ends up meeting and developing feelings for the dead man's mysterious wife in the course of his dogging sleuthing. So maybe romance?
I heard sleuth.
Yeah, a detective falls in love with a mysterious woman whose husband he's investigating the death in. Interesting. But yeah, Chen Wook Park. If you can't find well actually, I think the movie Handmaiden is on Amazon Prime as well.
Can you
That's
type the guy's name in our chat thing so I'll remember?
yeah, or I could
Because I'll
just send you
forget.
I'll just send you the link to the movie if it's on Amazon Prime.
Okay.
Uh,
Oh, that's fine too.
yeah, I'll do that. Yeah, I think he's becoming one of my favorite directors because even then those two movies, Mr. Vengeance is its cinematography is very different from Lady Vengeance because I think the biggest thing from Mr. Vengeance is it feels more grounded, but at the same time having some surrealism in it, while at the same time Lady Vengeance is very surreal at moments where it does
Mm.
like interesting cuts and like almost feels very dreamlike. Um but they're very good movies in their own respective way. That's my opinion on them. But I think in the scaling of like the Vengeance trilogy, Old Boy is still the top for me because that's the first one I saw. Obviously, I'm gonna have more feelings towards that. But Mr. Vengeance is right, like almost right next to it, and then Lady Vengeance is below it, but it's not really that low. Like it is still up there, but not not as high as the other two.
Mhm.
So yeah, good fucking movies. And then yeah, besides watching movies, so I've been working a lot, so I haven't been really playing that many games except for one.
Right.
I uh I beat that Code Vein.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
I got one of the endings. And
How was the entire experience? Like overall, I guess.
okay. it's it's actually not bad. Like I was going in it with like very low expectations. I think I even said last week that I'd rather play this than fucking Lords of the Fallen, and that's a really
That's
that's
very fair.
yeah, that's not anything to like,
Oh, true, because it's bad. So like,
yeah, because Lords of the Fallen is not that
you could have
great.
been like, I'm gonna go do a puzzle, and I'd be like, yeah, that makes sense. Like, instead,
Yeah,
that's more fun.
yeah. Uh, but I forget when Code Vein came out. I think it's like post like Bloodborne and like
Yes, it was. That
yeah,
was Code Vein was like maybe 3 years ago, I think.
yeah. It's not that old, but like as a Souls clone, it's actually pretty good, and it tries to do like its own little specific things. And it's funny because it is Bandai Namco, and Bandai Namco is the company that publishes the Souls games. So, but it's the team that does the God Eater games. Those are fucking Monster Eater clones. Their latest thing that they did was Scarlet Nexus. Do you remember that? Like it's an
Yeah,
anime.
Scarlet Nexus was really recent, I think. Maybe a
Yeah,
year.
yeah. So it's that development team that did Code Vein. Um, so Uh, for my enjoyment factor, it's weird because it's like it's not a perfect game, but it is a competent and in some cases a good game. Um, I I want to say, well, actually, I can't say it. I enjoyed my time with it. Um, I like the fact that there are very story specific things that you can do to alter the ending, which I was not expecting. I thought like, oh, maybe like towards the end of the game, you know, you just just choose your ending basically. But as the story progresses, there are very like specific moments, particularly in boss fights, that rely on you collecting these very specific things that help your character and also help the story move into either a positive direction or a negative direction. Um, so I went with kind of the neutral path, because I didn't know what I was doing until I realized, oh, there's a way to help, this specific story character. Um, so I think the one thing that makes this game very different from Souls games is that you can choose your class on the fly, basically. So there are like, I think in total like 16 different classes. Uh but some of them kind of like blend together, but each of them has their own specific gifts or magic abilities. Or specific stat boosts that you can have. The neat thing is that you don't have to be stuck to one specific class. You can gain proficiency in either the buff or the gift that you get, the magic. So the more you use the magic or the more you use the buff, uh the more you proficiency you gain, and once you gain max proficiency, you're able to unlock that and basically transfer that over to a different class. So I think that's what made that really interesting and really fun, was just like, okay, this class has like a fire ability. Let me max out proficiency for that, and then take this like fire buff thing and then put it over onto this other class that I'm trying to like move on with. Um yeah, it's fun in that aspect. The story itself is super anime. Like, I'm not going to deny it that. Like, it is very anime. It sometimes doesn't make any sense. Basically the premise of Code Vein is that like you're kind of technically vampires but not. Um Essentially the world went to shit after these scientists were conducting an experiment that made this one person super crazy, like, and she started unleashing her powers and started converting people into monsters. And she was dubbed the Queen. So your character and a bunch of other characters that you meet are either human or what they call revenants. Revenants are essentially the vampire characters, but they're not necessarily vampires because they can walk in sunlight and shit like that. The monsters are called the Lost. So basically you have the revenants fighting the Lost. It's very goofy, very anime. But how revenants come to be is that when they die, basically a parasite has to go in them and they get resurrected. So that's where the vampire aspect comes from, is because of a parasite. Uh and basically as you're moving through the story, how you get your different classes and different buffs and stuff like that, you have to unlock a memory code, which is the little thing that is the key to gaining the different classes and stuff like that. When you do that, some memory codes have like somewhat little character specific things where like, I get this memory code and like I unlock it, and one character from my little group is like, "Oh yeah, I remember that guy. Oh, you found my memory code? Oh, let me see if, there's something in my past that I completely forgot about," because that's the whole trade-off, is when you become a revenant, you lose your memories. So your character is basically the chosen one essentially, and is able to like unlock these memory codes and be like, "Oh yeah, that was where my memory went. I completely forgot about this thing that happened to me in the past," says NPC character. Um it's weird because like I was very engaged with the anime shit. And I actually kind of enjoyed it, but like I said, it is very anime. I don't know if anyone would necessarily like it that much because of how anime it is, but I enjoyed it. Um But yeah, I think just going back to the whole thing about the gameplay is, yeah, it is Souls. I think I could get that across. And then I mentioned the whole thing about uh changing classes on the fly. Then you have your weapons. Obviously, all the weapons are either one-handed sword, two-handed swords. um halberds, what the fuck is the other one? Halberds, hammers, and bayonets, where you essentially you get a gun but with a bayonet on it.
They have
Uh
bayonets in the game?
yes, you get
What the
guns.
fuck?
Yeah. It's actually not bad. Like it actually
Alright.
yeah.
No, it's just it's very,
It's
like,
you don't hear that
bold?
often. Yeah.
Yeah. That's why I was like I'm just listening to this whole time, and I'm
Vampires with bayonets.
I'm just thinking anime overall with a band.
Yeah.
What?
It is very but they're like anime bayonets where it's
Right,
like
right,
yeah.
yeah.
So those are your weapon choices and like I said like you can gain buffs in order for you to be more proficient in bayonets, halberds, two-handed swords, like stuff like that. Like they're and that's the stuff that makes switching to different weapons very interesting. And changing classes, obviously. But the other thing that also is pretty cool about the game as well is your veils, which essentially are your coats. You okay, let me get this across. You look like a dumbass sometimes depending on which veil you have because essentially they're just jackets that you're not wearing the sleeves. They're just hanging off your shoulders essentially.
That's what the veil is?
Yes.
So it has nothing to do with your head?
No, but that's what they call it in the game, veils.
Okay, okay.
Um but they're essentially like you know how like vampires have their capes? Haler.
I'm so sorry, yeah. I
You know
forgot I had the mic.
you know how like vampires have capes?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what the veil is. It's a cape, but it's like jackets.
Huh. That's an interesting, like, term for it, I guess. I don't know.
So basically that's your armor. But
Yeah.
the cool thing about having any specific veil, the veils can vary. So veils are there to essentially gain if you're fighting an enemy, you can use a veil to uh backstab an enemy or do a quick attack with the veil attack or do a full-on veil attack. And essentially what those attacks do is gives you ichor or ichor, which is essentially your magic stuff, your MP. It's essentially blood, but it's essentially also your magic. So the more you use like backstabs or like veil moves, the more you what is it? The more points you give to your Ichor bar or your magic bar. So, you know, you can start off at like an Ichor bar of like 10. And then the more you start using veil attacks, you can raise that up to like 20 or 30 or depending how much the veil can go. Excuse me. So, like I said, each veil can vary. You either have like a scorpion tail one that you can use, you know, that can look like a scorpion attack, or you have one that's like a claw, or you have ones that like kind of transform into like two hound heads, and then another one that's like essentially just like swords popping out. Um, and the really interesting thing is that like the game also has a dedicated parry button, but it's very specific to the veil that you have because some veils have very slow parry windows. So the claw, I think what they said was a video that I was watching is that like the claw has like the fastest parry window, while like the sword one and the hound one have very slow parry windows because like essentially when you know that you're ready for a parry is when you do the animation but your character turns white essentially for like a little flash of white. That's when that's your parry window. But like I said, the hound and the sword ones are very very slow. Um, but yeah, the veils are pretty cool because like I was like super surprised to see, oh, this veil has a fucking scorpion tail. That's fucking cool. Yeah. Uh, so right now I'm playing through the game. I want to get the rest of the endings. I'm actually looking to complete all the trophies, and stuff like that. The only thing that I want to say too worried about, but at the same time, I don't know if it's really going to do anything for me is so there was DLC for this game as well. And I was looking at the Code Vein forums. A lot of people that play this game say they fucking hate the DLC. And uh basically I checked
Did they have, like, reasons?
yes. essentially there it doesn't add anything to the story. It gives a new boss fight. It also
Okay.
gives new memory codes or blood codes. Excuse me, it's not memory codes. It's blood codes. That's the class change, or that's the specific class. The blood codes. There's a different uh blood code that you can get per DLC. The only thing that makes it somewhat interesting is that there in the DLC world there's a specific spot that you can go and do modifiers, and you can modify that DLC in order for you to gain points, so that you can use the points to exchange for cosmetic stuff or like animations, like gestures and stuff like that. Like, you know how Souls games have like gestures and shit?
Mm.
Basically that. I think maybe even a weapon, but either than that, that's basically it. It feels like the DLC is very bare bones because, like I said, it's just world modifier only specific to that DLC world and a new boss fight, and that's basically it. Like I said, it doesn't really add anything to the story. Oh, and a blood code, but that's it. So, and like I said, a lot of people on the forums are like, it just feels like a waste of money because it's just like, here's a new boss and a new zone, nothing that adds to the story or is any like side story or anything like that. It's
Yeah.
just exists. Um, but the only thing is that like you would have to tackle those DLCs on like on your new game, because in base game they feel way harder because enemies hit way harder. Um, so yeah, I'll probably check out the DLC stuff, but right now
Yeah.
I'm going through New Game Plus,
The
and
DLC sounds like I can understand why people didn't like it.
yeah, but I bought the fucking deluxe edition of this game like years ago, and I completely forgot
Oh,
that I had it. Yeah, I've had this game like on my back catalog for years, and
well, no,
not.
I was gonna say I don't mean like don't go play it. I just mean like I can understand why those people didn't like it.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
that's fine. I would
yeah.
if you own it, play it. Yeah.
Yeah, because this is the other thing is that like you play a fucking Souls game DLC and it has story and lore shit in it where it's like this is why we're kind of here, even though it's like a little like murky on the like some of the details, it
Mm.
still has like some kind of like lore aspect to it. Like Dark Souls 1's DLC stuff was like super interesting where it's like, "Oh, we're actually traveling back in time?" Like before or like kind of when things got all fucky in this world, which was like, oh, that's pretty cool. Or like Dark Souls 2, like as much as I didn't really like Dark Souls 2, Dark Souls 2's DLC was pretty interesting because it's like these different kingdoms that you're going to, like one that's like this fucking poisonous area that looks like all like pyramids and shit like that. It's just very bizarre, very weird. You know, like I said, Dark Souls 2 is not my favorite, but like some of those DLC stuff was pretty cool. Dark Souls 3 1 was really cool because I think you head back to the painted world. I think was one of them. That was
Right.
yeah, which was a thing in Dark Souls 1. And then Bloodborne. Bloodborne's DLC was fucking cool because it's the old Hunters DLC where it's like, "Oh,
Mm.
we're in this weird nightmare world of the past." And it's just like, "Okay." And then where that goes where it's just like, "Holy shit, we're in a fucking weird ass fishing village. What the fuck am I going to fight here?" And then you fight the fucking Orphan of Kos, and it's just like, ugh, this is weird but cool.
Hmm.
The only one that didn't get DLC, and it's kind of unfortunate too, because there was like a lot of like potential with it, was Sekiro. Sekiro didn't get any DLC.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's very weird.
Okay, yeah. I'm thinking of a different game. I was about to be like, well, no, I'm wrong.
Yeah, that's right. You're
I'm
wrong.
thinking, right. Kuka's poison.
Uh, but I'm very excited to see Elden Ring's DLC. I
Mm,
have to restart Elden Ring because I am on like New Game Plus, and I don't think it's a good idea for me to play Elden Ring on New Game Plus whatever plus I'm on. If a DLC comes out for it, because then I'll be super fucked. But that's just
why
me.
would it be fucked?
Because sometimes because those DLCs scale to the New Game Plus, so like
Mm,
they are not intended for you to play immediately. They're meant for you to play like near towards the end game.
gotcha.
So yeah, that's. But who knows if Elden Ring is going to have a DLC? Maybe it might be at the Game Awards this year, but I don't know. It feels like it's too soon because the game just came out this year. But who knows? Code Vein. Anyways, Code Vein. Oh, and if you like anime titties. And
No, I
I'm
only pray for with the Lord every day of my life instead
so
of
you
looking at
want
them
to
titties.
you know what the hilarious thing is? So you know how like those you know how like Dark Souls has like the waifu characters that
Huh?
essentially are the level up ladies essentially? You know, you go to them to level up, but like some people are like, "Oh, the waifus." You get a waifu in Code Vein that helps you level up essentially.
Oh no.
And it's just big anime titties. It's essentially it. And I'm like, "Yep, this world seems all right." Yeah, it's fucking gonzo on like how many NPCs just are big anime titty lady. Like it's so fucking weird. Uh yeah, it's wild. It's anime. Anyways, Anime Souls. But if that game were to ever get like a sequel, I would probably play it because there's a like I said, there's a lot of like really interesting like stuff that the game does, and it's not bad. Like it's actually really competent.
Oh yeah.
Um, the one exception is maybe one level, which is like it's called the Cathedral. Um, it's almost like a maze, and when I was looking at the forums as well on Code Vein, I was seeing a lot of people hated the Cathedral because they got lost in it. And it is very easy to get lost in it because I feel like most of my time of when I was playing that game was just wandering around the cathedral trying to find the next checkpoint. Because like it is very confusing because sometimes how the leveling works of this area is like sometimes you go up, sometimes you go down, sometimes you go way down, and sometimes you go way up. And it's just like I don't know where I am. I'm just trying to figure out where the fuck to go. But yeah, it's like I said, it's a good game. It's a good game. I enjoyed it. I'm still enjoying it, and that's why I'm gonna put more time into it and get all the endings. Uh, but I probably will give an update once I basically get all the trophies and shit. Cause yeah, anime titty.
That's what it is.
That's what it is, baby. Anime titty.
Bubba.
On yours on my scale of 1 to anime titty, what would I give Code Vein? Super mega milker anime
Oh
titties.
my god.
That's what that game is. It's just anime titty the game, but with Souls gameplay. Anime soul titties?
Jesus.
uh, yeah, it's pretty bad. But great at the same time. And what else did I do? Oh, I mean, these were some things I played a little bit of. So I got the HD texture mod for Resident Evil 4. Holy shit. Does that game look fucking amazing on PC with the fucking texture mod shit?
Yeah.
Like I love RE4, but that texture mod takes it to a whole new level because also like it has its own little like settings like window that you can change the FOV and change like a bunch of little things. Changing the FOV makes a huge difference in that game. It looks so good. Yeah,
Huge.
huge. Um,
Huge.
it is. I plan on playing a little bit more of Resident Evil 4 HD texture mod. Cause yeah, my hype for remake is still up there. And speaking of Resident Evil, I got the DLC for Village. I haven't obviously I want to make the stream for the Shadows of Rose DLC, the story DLC for Village. I do want to stream that, but I'm probably gonna wait a little bit because I'm still playing through Rat Game and
That
God of
game.
War, and God of War is coming out literally this week.
Tomorrow,
So
right? I think
no,
it's the ninth. Is it what's today?
wait, hold on. I think it said Wednesday.
Oh yeah. Well, I think it's the ninth, which I don't know what today is.
Wednesday, yeah. Wednesday, God of War Ragnarok is coming out. So there's that. So I'm gonna be waiting a little bit to play Shadows of Rose. But I played a little bit of the third person angle in Village, and yeah, it feels very weird. But it's pretty cool though. You know, it's pretty cool. I'm probably gonna play through Village in the third person view someday, or maybe down the line. But yeah, very very keen on playing that story DLC. Then other than that, yeah, that's basically what I've been up to. I barely touched my fucking PS5. I barely touched it, because I just been playing the Rat game, and I haven't played the Rat game because I just been working. So I should probably get back to streaming and finishing up Rat game because I'm near the end. I would say I'm like relatively near the end. No, that's a lie. I'm not near the end. I still got a couple more chapters to go. But like how the game is going, A Plague Tale, Requiem, I'm enjoying it. Still really like it. Still really dig it. And yeah, that's it. That's what I did with my week. You do anything else with your week?
Oh, sorry, my neck hurts like really bad. No, I don't know why I'm sitting here thinking. I just like laid my head back, so went, oh, dude, I can't move this neck, bro. Anyways, that's what I did other with my week. I pulled a fucking muscle in my neck, dude. It hurt so bad.
Wow. Wow. Hurting yourself live.
Speaking of hurting yourself, gaming news. Oh shit!
Gaming.
Wait, that happened in the week. Fuck, Aaron Carter died.
Aaron Carter.
Yeah. I want candy, I think, or maybe that was his brother. I think it's Aaron Carter, right?
Hold on. Aaron or Eric?
Aaron. Aaron.
Holy shit.
Yeah. I just opened Twitter earlier and was like, what the? I saw his face and I was like, oh look, it's Aaron Carter. And then like I was scrolling and then I saw died and I'm like, wait a second. It's
He
such a
dr-
like weird person
he
to die.
he drowned?
He drowned? Well,
That's what it
he might have been
says.
high. He has problems with like alcohol and stuff,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think.
Yeah, that was the thing is like
It's sad. He like
he really fell off.
well, he fell apart if you
Yeah.
haven't seen anything with him. Like he did a couple interviews and like you can just see like how like paranoid and off he was. Very like one of those situations where like the parents really should have helped him like with medication earlier. Or I don't know, it's not all their fault, but like, you know, they they should have been looking out for him, I think.
Nick Carter, that's his name. Not
Jesus
Eric.
Christ. The fuck am I thinking Aaron Carter? Aaron Carter is I Want Candy, right?
Uh Aaron Carter's the one that died.
Oh fuck, okay.
Nick
Right,
Carter is
Aaron
his
Carter did the song "I Want Candy," right? I want candy, dun 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 dun. Oh, I love candy or
Yeah,
whatever.
I
I'm sorry,
yeah.
dude.
Yeah,
Making
yeah.
you like do all this
No,
fucking
because like
research now.
I know. Yeah, it is him. Yeah, he fell apart.
Yeah, yep.
Yeah, Nick Carter. Yeah, it was his brother, but I don't know why I always kept getting him mistaken for Jesse McCartney. I don't know why.
Jesse McCartney.
Yeah, Jesse
Send me
McCartney.
a fucking link.
Jesse McCartney.
Already thinking about how I'm not gonna move to type that in.
It's fine.
I'm sorry.
I was looking at pictures of young Jesse McCartney. Yeah, that's fucking weird. That's crazy. But yeah, the only thing I remember from Aaron Carter was this whole like debacle. Well, not debacle, but like this whole argument he was having with this artist on Twitter, where this artist was like, this artist had this painting that he put it on the internet, and then Aaron Carter just out of nowhere just took the image and started selling it on shirts without the artist's permission. And
What?
yeah, and the artist confronted him and was like, dude, like you just can't take my art like that and start selling it as your own. He's like, well, it's the internet, bro. Like it was just like this whole weird
Yeah.
back and forth. Yeah, that's, but still, uh, Aaron Carter gone
Forever. In
forever.
case you didn't know.
Yeah,
Like, there's no reanimating.
no sympathy for Mr. Carter. I don't know where I was going with that. You want to take a break?
Sure.
Okay, we'll be right back.
All right.
All right, welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. I got
Yeah.
me an ice cream and some water. I ate the ice cream. Now I have some nice cold water. Nice. All right, let's talk about the news. So, Haler, how do you feel about GPUs? Since we were talking about electronics before.
How I feel about GPUs. I feel they're overpriced. Honestly. I mean, like, they might be better, but
All right, fair enough. So let me ask you this: are you interested in AMD's next gen GPUs?
no.
This okay.
Sorry.
So no, it's fine. So basically, Nvidia, not Nvidia, AMD had their little thing in Las Vegas. Because I think what was it? They had like a convention in Las Vegas for tech. But yeah, AMD launched their new graphics cards, the 7900. But they're going to release two different versions. One is the XTX, which is a much cheaper version at $899, and then the XT, which is the higher end version at $999. Basically it's the promises of all, the new shit that is out now. The XT can do 4K, a bunch of cool ass shit. Um, you know, a lot of people out there that are into the whole computer parts market say that this is good compared to Nvidia's whole fucking ordeal with releasing the 4090 and that being like priced at like what 1200, I think it was. A crazy amount. But a lot of skeptics in that market as well are saying that like they don't think that AMD's numbers are necessarily real. Time will tell because this thing comes out, I believe, December 3rd. So if you are interested in buying a new graphics card from AMD, you gotta wait until December 3rd. So yeah, interesting. In that case. But there was another big thing from this whole ordeal was I think we talked about this, is that the 4090 they were starting to burn their
Yeah.
wires.
Yeah.
Uh so there's a bit of speculation on that end of like maybe the wires could be wrong, maybe that was specifically to that experience happened to those people because I've seen a couple of YouTube channels that work in like PC stuff and like checking out these trying to run tests essentially to see what can make the wire like melt like that. And some stuff that they were trying out didn't work, but they don't really know because of the whole how, or like basically environment of the computer itself, of like how could anything like that happen. But anyways, because of that happening, the Reddit forums of like 4090s burning,
Yeah.
AMD made a statement saying that they were planning on actually doing that kind of formula as well with the single cable, but because of that, they actually are changing uh that layout of their GPU. So they're going back to what the current GPU cable management is. So yeah, nobody wants to deal with burning GPUs. So crazy that shit is that was supposed to be the next big thing of having that specific cable, because I think it's supposed to like you're supposed to like input 3 PCIe cables into like one specific like extender into the graphics card, but yeah, that's a proprietary cable from Nvidia. And yeah, that shit got burnt. All right, And speaking of getting burnt, well, two people got burnt. We've lost someone on Twitter. Um, it's sad for me to say, Nibble, also known as Nibellion on Twitter,
Yeah.
is gone. He's retiring from Twitter. He's just done.
He gone.
He gone. So so people think, well, Nibble has been a very like outspoken voice about Elon Musk. He's been very outspoken on like how much he doesn't like him. So speculations are Nibble left because Elon has now taken control over Twitter, and doesn't believe that Twitter will run smoothly. I mean, it's never really ran smoothly, but you know, Elon is Elon, and Elon loves to troll. And there was a whole thing that came out that Elon was like, "All right, people who want a blue check mark, you got to pay $8 monthly." And everybody's like, "Fucking what?" But you know, Elon be Elon, and you got those Elon fans coming out and be like, "Daddy Elon, give me Tesla, because I love you. Give me Tesla, Daddy Elon."
Elon.
But just on the other end, Nibble also created a Patreon, but he came out, or they came out with a statement saying that the Patreon was not going so well because nobody was really, you know, was really subscribing to him. So it was just underperforming, and you know, I think at this point he just had to put up his hat and say, "I'm done."
Yeah.
And it's unfortunate because like Nibble had so many in source like knowledge of specific things of
Yeah.
like either entertainment or media or video games. There were so many things that Nibble came out saying. I forget what was one of the things.
He was
Oh,
just a big presence overall, though. In video
exactly,
game.
exactly. Like he just had so many sources, or was a source, or something. Um, but yeah, it's unfortunate that like, you know, he had a Patreon, but yeah, he in his statement he was saying that people were just like leaving because it was just like not going anywhere. And he also, well, they also came out saying that like they didn't know what to do because like usually with Patreons you got to like make it more appealing for the person paying for it. But
Right.
the only reason for the Patreon was for him to get more sources and to like basically fund himself or themselves, because we don't know the gender of Nibble, but you know, they've been anonymous for years, and it's just at a point where it's just done. And it sucks because it's just like, who else do we have? Maybe Daniel Ahmed, maybe. He's another person that has sources. Jason Schreier. Um maybe Wario, Wario 64. Uh but yeah, Nibble was such a big one, and it's unfortunate. Yeah. It's really unfortunate.
Yeah.
Thanks, Daddy Musk. Give me Tesla. Where's my Tesla? Yeah.
Give me Tesla, boy.
But
Well, I have Tesla yet.
yeah, Tesla. Why Nibble gone, but no Tesla? No Tesla to replace Nibble. Yeah, gone. Gone from
You
our
know what
hearts.
I think is dumb?
Well,
PlayStation's VR.
oh, I thought you were going to go with Henry Cavill.
Oh my god, shit.
That would have been the perfect alley-oop.
I think that one's more dumber. So let's go with the PlayStation first.
Okay. So, PlayStation hits 25 million. But Sony gaming profits fall 49% due to rising costs, according to this VGC article. So reading this thing is interesting because PlayStation, Sony's trying to reach its profits by Q3, I believe.
Yeah.
Which is March 2023. And it's interesting because like their profits are going up, but at the same time it's also going down. Because according to the article, they basically made the examples of subscribers have dropped to like 2 million users have unsubscribed, which is kind of crazy because of the overhaul that Sony did with its subscription service. But what helped its profits was the tiers of subscription services. So
Yeah.
like the premium obviously costs more, and people subscribe to it. Like that's the thing, is that like there's gonna be something for everybody, and lo and behold, people were pissed off, so they unsubscribed. But like people were like, "Oh, I find value in this deal, so I'm gonna subscribe to it." Um, and that's the thing, is that like I'm mentioning, is that like they're trying to bring up their profit as well with shipping out more hardware, because what affected them was essentially the chip shortage, and that's why PlayStation 5s were so hard to find. I feel like now PS5s are not that hard to find. They're being shipped with a lot of like bundles and things like that, but still you have to be online to request a pre-order, because like that's what you've been seeing all this time. Like they're not in stores. They're like, you still have to do it online and shit.
Yeah.
Um but yeah, what are your thoughts on this? Where it's just like, this is such a weird thing to talk about, where it's like, yes, they've gone up in profit, but at the same time they haven't.
Who, PlayStation?
PlayStation, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think that um their pass is as good as Xbox, right? Like as
Yeah.
far as like revenue wise, I'm definitely like we can see the numbers. It says that there's Xbox does better with that than PlayStation does.
Mm.
And that's actually like Xbox made their money back, right? Through
Yes. So
um
this is another thing that I forgot to put up on here, is that Xbox is planning on bumping up the costs of Game Pass.
yeah, okay, I can see why. I can see them doing that only if they do it like in a Netflix perspective where it's like $1 or two, not 20 or 10 or 20
Yeah,
dollars.
I think they haven't announced essentially how much it's going to be, but yeah, they are
Right.
planning on raising the price a little bit.
But that's what
Um,
I'm saying. This is like I can understand that every couple of years. It's the
mm,
same thing that Netflix does, but it can't be a big amount. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, yeah, I get it. I don't know, man. Like, if it feels weird that like I don't know, like I like, it's such a weird thing to talk about, because of the fact that like PS5s are like the most seeked out console, and Sony's coming out being like, yeah, like we're making a good amount of money, but PS5s haven't shipped that much, and they're planning on shipping more. Like they're planning on meeting what their expectations are, which is what, like in Q3 I think they want to sell like 18 million more.
PlayStation, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So who the fuck? Oh, the end of the fiscal year. So yeah, March 2023 is the end of the fiscal year. But I fucking yeah, and I that was the thing I completely forgot about, is like the subscription shit. Can I say subscription?
Yeah.
The the subbing shit was actually a big part of like how Sony's doing well, is because they changed their whole
Yeah.
like service. Yeah, I don't know. But either you could, I don't know, I can't really say. I guess I'm happy for this big corporate company because it's like, they're still making money at the end result. So, yeah, kudos, I guess. Um
Yeah.
yeah, but speaking of PlayStation, yo, you want to get that PSVR 2?
So this is what I thought we were talking about before.
Oh, okay.
Before when you said I thought you would want to talk about the whatever about bad. This I think is dumb.
Oh, speaking of bad and weird from corporate companies, specifically PlayStation, uh
Space Station.
Space Station. Yeah, because look how they're trying to market their shit in space.
Oh yeah. Okay,
Yeah,
I see what you did there.
Space Bucks. How do you feel about spending
No,
$550 on
I
a
would just buy the
VR?
HTC or HTV or whatever. Fucking the Hive.
I cannot well, I can actually believe it. So the PSVR 2 has been marked at 549.99 US or 100 or 550. How much is a PS5 again?
500.
mm. Mm. Holy shit. So the other things that have been shown is there's a bundle for the Horizon Call of the Mountain VR game, which is priced at 600, and then a controller charging station that is marked for $50. Fucking wild. And then yeah, we also got a couple of things that were announced for PSVR 2. The Dark Pictures Switchback VR, Crossfire Sierra Squad, The Light Brigade, Cities VR, uh Cosmonus High, Hello Neighbor Search and Rescue, Jurassic World Aftermath Collection, and Pistol Whip VR.
What
Uh
a fucking dumb name.
let's see. Oh, Zenith the Last City, After the Fall, and Tentacular.
I think Zenith the Last City actually looked good. I can't remember.
I actually have to check out these trailers, but I didn't know Dark Pictures was doing a thing.
Yeah.
Oh, are they doing the fucking shooting gallery thing that they did in like Until Dawn? Until Dawn had Rush of
Mm.
Blood. Huh. Interesting. Yeah, they're doing another shooting gallery thing. But I don't know, man. I don't feel comfortable paying $550 for a fucking VR headset, especially at the fact that like I don't think they necessarily confirmed that PSVR 1 shit is going to work on this thing. Unless they make it somewhat compatible, because that was the big thing that a lot of people were like,
What, the
this.
PSVR 1?
Yeah, because like I think Sony came out with a statement saying that like PSVR stuff would not work properly on PSVR 2.
PSVR 1 games.
Yes.
PSVR, yeah, 1 game, sorry. It sounded weird when I said it, so I was like, I had to say it again.
Step husband?
Step husband, Kumbik. Truly
Um
the most step of husband. Sorry, good.
yeah, the PSVR 2 feels like the step husband of this whole VR headset bullshit.
Thanks, man.
You're welcome. Yeah, man. I don't know. And so like if you're buying this thing, you're gonna be spending a total of $600 if you want the charging station as well. So regardless, what does this bundle come with? Oh, it's just the game and the headset, and that's it. I thought it might be like the charging station as well, but no, it's just the game and the headset. Yeah, I mean, there was a part of me that wanted to play Resident Evil Village on VR, but I don't know if I want to fucking pay 600 for this thing. I don't think I can. Either
No,
way.
no. It's one of those things. I think a lot of people. So like people that have a good amount of money to spend, um, will go ahead and pick up for the kids. They'll go ahead and pick up for themselves. Um, and everybody else that doesn't really have like a good amount of money has to more like pay attention to where they spend it.
Mhm.
Is gonna wait
Probably like a
on what's
Black Friday
a
sale.
Black Friday, any type of thing, right? A year
Yeah.
from now when it's just less money, or two, whatever.
Yeah, because my PSVR 1 headset, I got pre-owned. Like, I bought it from, like, that retro game guy that I go to. And he was
Dude,
selling.
honestly, instead of buying the second one, I would go buy the first one at this point because it's probably way cheaper. And I can play most of the games that I care about, anyways.
I
I
think
mean, personally, right?
I
But,
think I think I paid like $150 and it came with like everything.
well, that's not bad at all.
Yeah. So I was just like, yeah, I mean, that's the thing is that like there's a shit ton of PSVR 1 games, you know. And that's the thing that you're kind of missing out on is like if you get the VR 2, you there is a possible chance you can't play the 1 stuff. And that's why Sony came out with the whole thing saying that, oh, if you give us your serial number for your PS5, we'll send you a dongle for the VR1 in order for you to play VR1 headset on PS5. Like it was interesting. I still have that dongle like in here, but I have not hooked it up at all.
Yeah.
So I don't know how it works. Yeah, but I personally for me I don't feel comfortable, especially, you know, that now PS5s are more available and people are trying to buy those. It's like, damn, you're gonna, if you want the full PlayStation experience, you gotta put down $1,000 for this thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's I don't know, man. I just feel like I would buy something that has a longer lifespan. Again, like I think the Hive,
Mhm. Or a new
it's gonna be
PC.
around longer. Huh?
Or a new PC.
I mean, you could also just like buy parts for your car, spending $1,000. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, that's
there's
the
so
thing.
many things you could do with $1,000 that
I mean,
like.
overall, we could just talk about how video games itself is a luxury. You know, it's
I know that, but this is like this almost feels like a luxury on the luxury, right?
yeah,
This is
yeah,
almost like
it's excessive.
what the fuck would I even call it? Like you bought the backpack because you had the purse, like a Louis Vuitton backpack because you had the purse that matches it or something. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying, like
yeah,
you only need one thing to carry your shit.
yeah. I got the Gucci jacket. Now I want the Gucci belt with my
Yeah,
Gucci shoes. Yeah, yeah.
I already have Destiny 2. I don't need Destiny 2 VR. I'm good.
Ah, man, but think about that. You could be shooting the space aliens
I would
with
definitely buy it.
your
Yeah,
your.
don't worry.
But still, not at that price. Yeah, wait. I would say for me personally, because I would wait for like a deep discount. Um, but that's just me. Speaking of also sad and really kind of shitty stuff that happened. Uh, Henry Cavill or Henry Cavill, however you say it, Wolverine. Uh,
Henry definitely swole Cavill.
Swoville. Uh,
Swolverine. Good.
so yeah, Henry Cavill came out with a statement saying that he is leaving the Witcher series on Netflix. He is being replaced by Liam Hemsworth, one of the
Great.
Hemsworths.
Yay.
Um, so this is an interesting string of events. So yeah, basically Henry came out with a statement saying that like he's done, he's been honored, he, you know, he hopes for the best for Liam.
He
Um
really gave up.
yeah. So it's funny you mentioned that because there's other little things that came out basically saying that Henry fought for the show to be as accurate to the source material as possible because he is a huge fan. This man is a nerd. He's a very hot nerd. Uh he's a very attractive nerd. But yeah, he is a huge fan of the books and he wanted them to be as close to the source material as possible. So there was a Twitter thing that I saw that I forgot to put down in our little thing that basically there was a little interview with the showrunner Lauren S. Hisrick, um basically talking about how Henry was really pushing for the writers to make Geralt a more three-dimensional character than how they were basically adapting him to be. Um and yeah, there were moments where he was just like, you know, I don't feel comfortable with what they're doing and you know, I wish they would do a little bit more with this character. Like he actively fought to make Geralt an appealing character. And that's also the thing. I haven't seen The Witcher show. I've listened to the audiobooks and I've
You ever
obviously
watch the
played.
show?
I haven't seen the show.
You're
I hear
good.
season 1 is good, but then I hear season 2 is not good. I don't know how.
It's like okay.
Yeah, and then
I would still watch it.
I mean, how season 3 is going, and because season 3 is supposed to come out, and Henry's like, I'm done. And then here's bye bye to season 4. Come in, Liam. It's like,
It's
oh,
so I think it's okay if Liam Neeson. I still don't want this to
Hemsworth.
happen because I'm just like, it's already a good show. Why are you ruining it? Basically, I want if it's gonna be. This is the way I think it could be good. Is if Liam Neeson is a younger version of Geralt, and it's like this
You're,
is his
you're,
before times.
you're gonna get yourself confused.
Why would I say?
Neeson. Hemsworth.
Did I say Liam Neeson?
Yes.
Yeah, see, this is the fucking
Da Vinci.
no, the
Step husband.
step husband shit again, bro.
You could keep doing this to yourself. Uh,
Did I say it multiple
so
times?
yeah, you said it twice.
Okay.
Um, step husband. No, because like this is the thing is that like I said, I haven't seen the show, and I've listened to, I believe, the first two audiobooks of The Witcher. I've read uh shit, what is it? The Last Wish. I've read that one. Um and it's funny because like I only saw a little bit of the first episode of season 1, and it is one of my favorite stories from the books. Is it The Last Wish? I don't remember. I think it might be. Either way, um it is one of my favorite stories from that book, and it is uh the eclipse child that's trying to kill this whole little town square, and it's just like, oh, that's my favorite story part. I wonder how they adapted, but then I never watched the show afterwards.
Well,
And
wait, what
then
was the favorite part?
no, my that was my favorite little story of the book, because that
Okay,
got
okay.
adapted into the first episode of the first season.
Gotcha.
But like I'm saying is that like what I've been hearing is that people who like The Witcher or know about The Witcher stories are saying that like the show feels different, like it feels weird. Um but then
Yeah.
it leads into this other thing that was found out. Bo DeMeo, who was one of the writers of The Witcher show, who left, made a statement saying that other writers on the show actively disliked the books and the games. So they were all trying to write their own little thing, their own little adaptation of the show rather than following the source material.
Okay.
And it's funny
Gotcha.
because Bo DeMeo now is doing, he's the showrunner for the X-Men 97 series that's making a comeback. X-Men 97. And basically his his whole thought process is from a statement of him is saying you have to respect the work before you're allowed to add to its legacy, which is like, some people some people view it as harsh, because it's like, you don't, in order to love something you can also criticize it as well, but then you have people being like, but then what's the point of adapting it if it's like, if it's going to go in a completely different direction. This is coming into the whole nuance of like specific adaptations, and it's like it's hard to adapt something that already has its source material right there, because obviously there are going to be some people that don't want to do it beat for beat for beat. There's some people that want to do it somewhat differently and make some kind of little change or a big change that can possibly make this story more interesting. For
Yeah.
example, The Boys on Amazon Prime goes in a completely different direction from the comics. Completely. And the Boys show is viewed positively because the comics are so trashy. Its source material is incredibly trashy. I've read a couple of issues of the Boys comic, and it is very trashy. Uh but you can respect these two different things, because for me it's like, I enjoy the fact that like the show is actually going in a very different direction, but it's handling it itself very well. While the comics can stay in its own specific spot and be the inspiration for the show, essentially. Like if the show wants to still use ideas from the comics are right there and they can just use the ideas right there. But the show is going in such a different direction that's like, it's becoming its own thing, but it's not bad. That's my perspective on it, on that specific show, The Boys. Um, but we're talking about The Witcher here. Yeah, sad to see Superman go and not wear his white wig. But I know nothing of the show. All I'm feeling is that maybe season 3 might not be good.
I mean, it has a chance to, right? But so I just think so. Like the season might not be good, but I still think him as Gerald is good.
Geraldo, yeah.
Is it
No,
Gerald?
Geralt.
Geralt. Jesus Christ.
Geralt of Rivia.
Gerald. Gerald.
Gerald Neeson.
I went out of here.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's also the funny thing because the author of the Witcher came out and said, "Oh, I really liked Henry Cavill's acting as Geralt." And it's
Oh
funny,
yeah, I did see that. Yeah.
but it's also hilarious because like, did I tell you about the whole thing about that author?
No.
About the whole thing as to like how CD Projekt Red has the ownership of The Witcher?
No, I don't remember.
So basically, Andrzej Sapkowski, I forget the writer of The Witcher. Um, Basically, The Witcher 1 was the first game CD Projekt Red came out with, and they that studio was a huge fan of The Witcher series. So when they wanted to do more with The Witcher, they wanted to basically ask the writer if they can use the story of The Witcher, in which the author was like, "Oh, video games are just a fad. I don't give a fuck. Here, I'll even give you the rights to this."
No.
Lo and behold, that series became a smash hit.
So he didn't make money off of it.
This is a hilarious thing. Years later, he tried to get, I believe it got brought to court, and he tried to
Okay.
get money from CD Projekt Red because they owned the rights, but they felt so bad for him that they gave him some money. Like it like they just felt bad for him. So now there's this whole joke of like this dude has to basically be careful what he says because it could, financially cost him.
Do they keep giving him money though?
I believe so, and like
Okay.
somewhat royalties, somewhat,
That's
but
cool though. No, that makes me like respect them a little more.
yeah, but a lot of people don't like the author because, like I said,
Uh,
he just despises video games. Like he actively hates video games. Um, and like I said, he thought that it was going to be a fad and just die off. That's why he didn't give a fuck about the series itself because he's just like, yeah, he's like, I'll probably gain the ownership back again because these guys don't know what the fuck they're doing. And then, like I said, The Witcher has become the most popular game from CD Projekt Red. So, yeah, I could be like,
did he also give them Cyberpunk?
no, that's a different guy.
I know, I'm just joking.
Yeah, but it's hilarious because then you have the other story of the author for the Metro games, because the Metro games were books, and the developers for Metro, what is it, Metro 2033, basically worked with the author, and he was there on the writing team, giving them ideas and stuff like that. Like he loves video games. So
Yeah.
that was like the biggest like comparison of just like, here's a guy that actively hates video games, and then here's an author that loves video games and like wants to be a part of the process of making video games, while this guy was like, fuck video games.
You
Uh
know. Sorry, go ahead.
no, I just want to say like the whole thing with the author of The Witcher, it's probably not verbatim from what I'm saying, but the aspect of him giving the rights of The Witchers is true. Like he did give it away to CD Projekt Red, so technically they are the IP holders of The Witcher. That's why they have so much power over it.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Uh did you want to say anything?
Oh no, go. Sorry.
All right. And speaking of The Witcher remake is in development. You ever play the first game?
No, I never played it.
Well, I
I
have.
played the third one.
I played the first one. That was my first like dive into The Witcher.
Yeah.
It's not a great controlling game. It's not a good controlling game. So this is the thing that I just found out recently is that like originally it was supposed to, it came out as a CRPG game. You know how like most CRPGs are like a specific down angle camera view, like like Baldur's Gate. That's how Witcher 1 came out. But then an enhanced version of the Witcher 1 that I played was a third person perspective where you're like with Geralt camera wise, but like I said, the combat is not good. I don't think I beat that game. but I was really enjoying it because this was the first time I ever experienced a CD Projekt Red game, and I was like, I was so captivated by the world of The Witcher that I'm like, oh, the story is fucking great. Like the world feels so like lived in, and like you want to know more about the world. That's how I felt with my experience of playing The Witcher 1, was just like I was so captivated by like the lore and the world and everything about the Witcher. And like even Geralt of just being like, when the game first starts off, he's an amnesiac and you're just like, what the fuck happened to him? But then they don't really necessarily explain it. They're like, no, you don't worry about Geralt Pass. Just play this game, because of the fact that like this is coming off from the books, and there's so many books that like basically this game was your clean start into the world of The Witcher, which I'm like, that was a smart thing to do, to be honest. And then yeah, and then I played The Witcher 2 and I'm like, oh, The Witcher 2 is okay. And then The Witcher 3 was one of my favorite games of a good while. Because I got that complete version of The Witcher 3. I played the fuck out of it. I This is how much like I was like thinking to myself of like, I really want to get myself deep into this game. I'm going to play this game on the hardest difficulty, which was Death March. And I played through the entire game on the hardest difficulty. And yeah, it was a well worth experience. Really, really, really good time I had with The Witcher 3. But to The Witcher 1, a remake is happening. In development, being done from the ground up in Unreal Engine 5. So this was the thing. Did the fifth of the engine. So I know we talked about a couple podcasts ago about CD Projekt Red having some code names for a bunch of projects that they were doing.
Yeah.
So this is one of them. This is Canis Majoris.
Okay.
Which makes sense because the main big thing is The Witcher.
Right.
So, yep. So The Witcher is the big project they have. So who they're planning on working with is with a company called Fool's Theory, which are actually made up from veteran Witcher staff from back in the day, and CD Projekt Red. CD Projekt Red is going to provide full creative supervision. So it's
CD Wed.
It's a group project. So that's cool. So I'm a little excited for that, to see The Witcher 1 done good in a way. Hopefully
sure.
Not like Cyberpunk, or I don't know, Geralt is gonna be T-posing on a motorcycle. But who knows? Cool. What else you got, Howler? What do you got for us?
More bad news.
More bad news?
That's not part of the bad news, though.
Oh.
We got this isn't part of the bad news. The Last of Us TV show release date was apparently revealed.
Coming in January.
Yep.
So
I just don't think it's gonna be good.
I don't know. I mean, I like Pedro Pascal.
Yeah, I'll watch it just to see it, but I mean, I don't particularly think it's like, because last time we talked, you were like, it's gonna be the same thing as the game.
Yeah,
like, oh, great.
That's my issue with this. Is just like, can we just not do Ellie and Joel again? Can we just do something different, but in the world of The Last of Us? Like, the world seems more interesting than the characters. That's what I'm trying to say. Because like I love The Last of Us 1. Like, that is also one of my favorite games. But man, like, can we just stop with Joel and Ellie? But like I said, I like Pedro Pascal. I know really nothing about Bella Ramsey, but I don't know. It could be a big hit. The funny thing is that, like, I think there was an interview with Pedro Pascal saying that like he's gonna have his own interpretation of Joel, because he doesn't really know the game, but he also says that he's watched his nephew play the game and was very impressed by the story.
I was gonna say, I don't know why he wouldn't like just watch a fucking like stroll through the game, you know?
I don't know. Actors got to be acting,
He's like, that's not real. I'll
But
be real.
you know what we get to look forward to? The remake of the Last of Us show in 4 years.
That's true. That's fair. I thought you were gonna go to another news article, and I was like, I don't know where this is going.
Yeah, it's all right. It's all right. All right, let's segue out of this because
All right.
Sage.
You
Speaking of The Last of Us, uh,
know what else is alive? I don't know.
you know what
They
could
found Elvis. What? Hold on. That segue.
I'm trying to think what to talk about next. What do you want to talk about?
Um,
Do 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 do.
fucking Studio 51. That shit sounds dope.
Oh, Suda51.
Yeah.
All right. Speaking of the true Last of Us, Suda51 and Swery65. What you know about the Suda and the Swery? Nothing, because what they're gonna be
I
doing,
thought you were asking about me.
they're gonna be combining together and gonna be called uh, Swory 116.
Swarty.
Swory 116. That's what you get when you combine the both of them. Anyways, yeah, what do you know about Suda51 and Swery 65?
They're making a game together.
Oh, yeah. So this is a thing that they talked about like years and years ago.
I didn't know.
Yeah, because everybody forgot about this. I remember when they talked about this in 2019 during an IGN Japan stream that they announced that they're working together to make a game called Hotel Barcelona, which is a horror game that they're planning on doing. Then it just went dark after that. Now, trademark applications have been found for Hotel Barcelona and another game called Death Game Hotel by Swery 65's studio White Owls. Yeah, and they were both submitted October 27th. And yeah, I'm very, very curious. I'm very curious.
I think
Yeah.
it'd be cool.
So basically the premise or the ideas that Suda and Swery were talking about was multiple timelines, a 100% evil protagonist, and a murder mystery element where people would be killed in a hotel referred to in the title. So a hotel in Barcelona.
So we're talking like my favorite game. The one where the kids like shoot each other in school or whatever.
Danganronpa?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
The
gonna
one
be
where the kids like shoot each other in school. My bad. What I meant my favorite game. That just came off really wrong.
Yeah, it's gonna be that game.
Danganronpa, they kill themselves and they're all like
No, they don't kill themselves.
not themselves, but they kill each other, and they are in like a school setting. That's why I meant that. You know what I mean?
They're all their step husbands.
The fuck, I hate it here.
That's fine. Wolverine. So, I'm very excited. They're both very eccentric directors, and I'm glad to see that they're working together. I'm keeping my fingers crossed because when you have two very, very creative minds, sometimes they clash. And I'm very curious as to see how this is gonna go. And who the fuck is gonna publish it? I think maybe PlayStation. Yeah, I don't think they said who. Oh,
Do you
know
think?
what? No, you know what I remember from that interview? They talked about. I think somebody asked like, "Oh, so who's gonna be publishing the game?" And I think it either had to be Swery or Suda that said Devolver Digital is gonna publish our game, and Devolver Digital.
This is like the fucking like trifecta of like crazy.
So Devolver came out with a tweet saying, "What? Like, do you want to call our like office and let us know about this?" So I don't know. I don't know who's publishing it, but yeah, that was really fun. That's the one thing I remember from that interview.
Devolver to me like would also just tweet that shit to be funny.
Devolver comes out with bangers though. Like you have to admit.
Bro, like the only reason I love E3 is Devolver.
Yeah, usually Devolver shit because it's just like
they're hilarious.
Yeah, either they're hilarious or they just have really good shit that they're gonna release.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But yeah, I'm very excited to see who picks this up. But like I said, I'm very interested how these two are gonna come together because they're so weird when it comes to like their storytelling. Because you have Deadly Premonition, Swery's game, or The Good Life, which is another game that he came out with, which was like an indie game that was on Kickstarter for like a good bit. I don't know how that game is, but those premises are very very bizarre. Deadly Premonition obviously is a murder mystery, but it feels like Twin Peaks the game, essentially. And then you have Suda 51. And you know, I really enjoy Suda 51's games. Like I fucking love I love the Silver Case, you know, because of how fucking weird that visual novel game is.
Those were a lot of fun to watch. Yeah.
The Silver Case, No More Heroes. No More Heroes is fucking bonkers. Killer 7 is like a game that I can't believe I missed out on because of how stylish. Like Suda 51 games are incredibly stylish. That's what I can say.
Yeah,
All
definitely.
they have a very specific style because of how weird they are, but they're super cool. I really recommend this video. I think I put it up on the Discord where it's Suda 51, I think with a bunch of guys over at Game Informer. And they're playing Killer 7. And basically they just asked like Suda like a couple questions about like, you know, his development on the game and stuff like that. And the really, really cool thing, and I think a lot of people don't give as much respect as he should get, is oh my god, Shinji Mikami, the creator, well, the director of Resident Evil 1 and Resident Evil 4. Like nobody really gives so much credit to Shinji Mikami. But in that little thing that Suda is in, he talks about how if it wasn't for Shinji Mikami, his games wouldn't have gone in like balls to the wall action. Like they would have basically stayed as like a visual novel kind of thing.
Right.
Yeah, so it's just like thanks Shinji Mikami for making for
Yeah.
basically helping out with Killer 7.
Thank you, Shimigami.
Yeah, thanks to Shiba
Thanks, Ghost of Tsushima.
Case, thanks Shiba Inu.
You know who else loves Shiba Inus?
Who else? Anyways, Deadly Premonition. You should play Deadly Premonition. Just kidding. Don't play it. It's a very goofy game, but play it.
I was so good at segueing right there, bro.
Yeah. Who should be Ghost of Tsushima in?
Microsoft loves sushi. And they invested in a Korean blockchain game company.
Feels a little derogatory.
That's part of the
Anyways.
title, though. That's part of the
No,
title.
no, they love sushi. We're talking about Korea, not the
let's
same
talk
place.
about Microsoft, though.
No, stop lying. Anyways,
Microsoft loves sushi. The weirdos.
yeah, the
Who eats
truth.
fish, bro?
Maybe if you ate more fish, maybe your back wouldn't be hurting.
Truly devouring sea animals would fix me.
I mean, you never know. They got them omega-3s in them, I think. Anyways, yeah, so Microsoft has invested in a Korean blockchain game company. This is Microsoft, not Xbox. So basically the company that they invested in was a company called WeMade.
Sorry.
I know nothing about WeMade. Apparently they did a mobile game back in the 2000s, an MMO RPG called Legend of Mir.
Oh. No,
But now their whole venture is NFT stuff, blockchain. They're planning on doing, well, they already have this program that they have called WeMix, which is supposed to be their blockchain stuff. It's just really weird because of the fact that Phil Spencer came out in a statement saying that like NFTs feel exploitative and it should not have any space in the gaming realm, essentially. And it's hilarious because Microsoft just invested in an NFT company. There hasn't been any statement from Microsoft saying what they're planning on doing with NFT stuff, but it's just weird, man. It's like, it makes me think, I don't think anybody in the Microsoft, like branches talk to one another about their ideas and shit. Yeah, wild.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely interesting. I don't
Yeah,
know.
I wonder if Phil Spencer's gonna say anything about this. Be like, yeah, your parent company just was like, you had to buy NFTs. What are your thoughts, Phil? Phil's gotta be like,
It's not a bad thing.
no, but it's funny. It's like it's ironic at the fact that like Phil Spencer just came out and said NFTs don't belong, and then Microsoft makes a purchase to an NFT company.
Oh, okay, so you're saying.
That's what I'm saying, bro. And
Oh, bro.
I know you love NFTs. All right,
Step
I get it.
husband, make
I get it.
NFT.
I get it that you have your step husband Wolverine bored ape. All right,
Bored aping around.
bored aping, morbin around. All right, I get it. I get it. But funny for Chonch, ironic for Microsoft. You know what else is funny? You
What?
know what else is hilarious? Guess what's hilarious?
Uh, how you're smiling? Is it overdosing?
Yep, it's overdosing.
Okay.
We overdosing over here, baby.
Okay.
Not really. No, we're not.
Oh, Christ.
Uh, well, we overdosing on these games because footage of Hideo Kojima's unannounced game Overdose
Overdose.
got leaked. Did you watch the video?
Yeah.
It is hilarious because all I see is just the reflection of the dude recording it. He's just shirtless the entire time. And I'm just like laughing my ass off because like you just see the screen go game over, and then you just see the reflection of the dude just trying to like pose back all shirtless. And I'm like, it's so stupid. It reminds me of this video. I think it might have been for DMC5 or like some video game where a guy's recording it and like the screen goes black and you just see him shirtless and he's like, oh, you can see me. And then the video just cuts from there. But anyways, um so we don't know what exactly this is. Apparently Kojima Productions has come out and tried
It's a video game.
to request its removal. But this is the thing. We don't know if this is the next game that he's planning on doing, or this is the Microsoft Cloud project that he wanted to do or was plan on doing. Because there was a thing that was announced couple months back where Kojima and Microsoft, well, Xbox were planning on working together to make a game specifically for cloud streaming. And like I said, we don't know if this is the thing for it or if this is the new game that has Elle Fanning. I think they recently got the one of the actresses from Deadpool 2. Hold on, I forget her name. I forget her name. I forget her name. What is her name? Oh, Shiori Kutsuna. That's her name. I don't know if you remember the character. She was oh my god, what is her name? Oh, she was Teenage Warhead. Is that her name?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, she was the girlfriend. Yukio. That's her name.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yo.
Uh but yeah, basically she got put onto the project with the Elle Fanning thing. But this is the funny thing is that like this overdose gameplay footage is Margaret Quagley, who was the actress who played Mama in Death Stranding. So I mean, yeah, sure, why not use the actress for a different role? But yeah, nobody knows whether or not this is the Microsoft thing or this is the new game that he's planning on doing. Or if that game that he's doing is the Microsoft game. Like, you understand what I'm saying? Is that like this Elle Fanning thing is his Microsoft thing? But I don't know. This footage is interesting because, like I said, it is just basically Margaret Quagley, or not Quagley, Jesus,
Gwagglebox.
Quags, Margaret Qualley, Margaret. Anyways,
Mm.
uh,
Blast her.
basically her just like walking around in like this hospital setting. It looks very horror-esque. There's some stuff in this article from VGC talking about how like during this time Kojima was like watching a lot of horror movies.
Mm.
So maybe, he's trying to get some inspiration from some stuff. And then yeah, like I said, the end of that video is a game over screen and a dude that's shirtless.
Oh shit.
Oh my god, I can't. This is fucking hilarious. Cause like I
I
said,
mean,
like I haven't paused on him
it's so
shirtless.
hard to see that too. Like that video is like horrible.
Yeah, because it's a recording of somebody else's recording.
Right. It just
This
looks
is
bad though.
yeah, it's just this is what makes it feel weird. It's so bizarre because like you see a little window of like somebody at the bottom. I don't know if playing the game, but then you
Yeah,
have
it looks like somebody did a pre-recording, ready to like drop a like review basically.
yeah, and then you have somebody's phone with the recording on it, and then
Oh,
like like I said, the guy shirtless recording it.
the
Just
recording with the guy in it playing it
uh,
could be like somebody like giving
uh,
feedback.
all I could say is layers. There's layers to this video.
Oh yeah, video is worth watching, even if you
uh,
don't even care about the game.
yeah, it's fucking it's oh my god, that ending is one of my favorite. Game over, shirtless guy. A Hideo Kojima game overdose. Yeah, so I don't know what the fuck this is gonna be. Um, maybe there might be something at the Game Awards. Maybe he might come out and say something because obviously the Jeff Kiwi connection, because he loves the Jeff Kiwi. But yeah, who knows? Who knows? But you know what I know, Howler?
What do you know, brother?
I know that Embracer Group shuts down Montreal video game studio.
Wow, truly a visionary.
So, back back when Square Enix was basically giving out a lot of their Western companies, Eidos Montreal,
Ethos.
what was the other one? Square Enix Montreal, Crystal Dynamics was the other one. Yes. Was it Square Enix Montreal or like yeah, basically yeah, Square Enix Montreal. So Square Enix Montreal got reformed and basically changed to Onoma, um which was kind of just weird, but sure, they went on with it. Um but it got shut down. It was announced with the name changed around May and then got shut down October. No, sorry. It was purchased in May and then announced on October and then later closed this month. Um yeah, there's also a little thing at the bottom of this article from Bloomberg from Jason Schreier basically saying that the next thing that Square or I believe Eidos, yeah, Eidos. Yes, Eidos is cutting costs and reducing the scope for an unannounced project and might cancel another project that they have because of stuff that's happening over there with their parent company,
Right.
which is kind of unfortunate. And sad to see because of the fact that like Eidos, you know, made a lot of very well-known IPs, obviously being Tomb Raider and Deus Ex.
Yep. Deus Ex is my fave.
So it will be really hard for a lot of people to see that Embracer Group be like, all right, I guess we're gonna have to shut down Eidos. And then all they have left is Crystal Dynamics. So, well, actually, Crystal Dynamics is Tomb Raider. Eidos is Deus Ex. Excuse me. But yeah, crazy that they changed the name of Square Enix Montreal to Onoma and then shut it down.
That's fucking weird.
Yeah, it's very weird, but it, like I said from that article, it's also stating that their current project for IDOS is kind of being reduced. So like I said, it doesn't seem like it's looking good on their end. But speaking of companies or conglomerates purchasing stuff and opening things and closing, but mostly opening for this one, NetEase establishes GP Track 50, an Osaka-based studio led by former Capcom producer Hiroyuki Kobayashi. So Hiroyuki Kobayashi was known for basically producing Resident Evil, Dino Crisis, Devil May Cry, Sengoku Basara, and Dragon's Dogma. Now he has his own studio that plans on making new original IPs, not just in video gaming, but also in live action, entertainment, mangas, and novels. So basically, his studio is just doing a shit ton of entertainment stuff. But yeah, fucking weird ass name for GP Track 50. I don't know if that's a very specific thing, but sure. But yeah, NetEase. NetEase establishes Hiroyuki's new studio.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. So just wait and see.
Heckleberry, yes.
And then a little thing that you put down in our Discord.
Mm-hmm.
Callisto Protocol will have a prequel podcast that will launch December 2nd, featuring
Callisto Man.
Callisto Man. Well, I gotta say the first two people, Gwendolyn Christie and fucking Michael Ironside, as like the lead two characters, pretty good pick. Pretty good pick. Brienne of Tarth and fucking Michael Ironside fucking scanning it up in scanners. I might probably catch this. Might have to check this out.
I might check it out. All depends.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever heard of like a drama podcast, like ones that do like stories and stuff like that. But this seems pretty interesting. Especially at the fact that like we really don't know anything about the Callisto Protocol, and I know Dead Space had like a bunch of like prequel content after the game came out, but like it's cool to see that they're trying to do something with their new IP, specifically Striking Distance.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So Callisto Protocol Helix Station is the title of the podcast. And just one little thing I wanted to add of note. I was scrolling through my phone and I saw a new video from Young Yeah. So I think it might have been the last podcast I talked about that Square Enix put out a trademark for Symbiogenesis. And a lot of speculation was that was going to be like a revival for Parasite Eve.
Yeah.
It's not. News came out reporting that it is Square Enix's NFT project. It has nothing to do with Parasite Eve.
So you're stoked.
So happy. Can't wait to get my Tifa Booba NFT. So that's going to be it for the podcast. They're going to sell a shit ton of those. Yeah, that's kind of unfortunate because especially at the fact that like a bunch of companies are coming out with a bunch of horror IPs that they had over the years. Like, you got Konami not making games, but making other people make their games, specifically Silent Hill. And then you have Capcom coming out being like, we're remaking Resident Evil 4. We're going back to the horror. And then you have fucking Square Enix that has Parasite Eve, which has some pretty good horror elements from what I've seen. And they're doing nothing with that. So it's kind of unfortunate. Oh, and then with fucking Callisto Protocol and Dead Space, like horror is making a comeback.
Ugh.
But nothing from Square Enix. You're right to yawn because nothing from Square Enix. All right.
Enix bad.
Square Enix bad unless you get that Tifa Booba NFT.
Worth.
Worth it. Very worth it. All right. That's it for the podcast. Thanks for hanging out with us. Howler, thank you for stopping by, showing up, coming here,
Hi,
talking about
I'm
Anime
always
Booba.
here.
Will you play Code Vein with me?
No.
All right. So
I will. Please post that video that you're talking about the movie in here because I want to check that out. The series.
the Mr. Vengeance
Yeah.
stuff, the Vengeance trilogy. Yeah, I'll
Yeah.
do that.
Because I'm gonna forget.
All right, I could lead off
And
with
then you need to
this.
watch Leonardo da Vinci's
Liam Neeson in
Leonardo da Vinci's movie Morbius. Remember to
okay,
watch that.
okay. Oh, and watch Cabinet of Curiosity.
Yep. Okay. Yeah. That we should definitely. Yeah. I got you.
Yeah, we'll have a whole spoiler talk about that.
Yeah.
All right, so that is it for the podcast. Thanks again. We'll be back whenever.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.